the voice of Barbara Novosek singing our anthem. Our broadcast today from Wrigley Field is brought to us by the G. Heilman Brewing Company of La Crosse, Wisconsin, the makers of Old Style, the pure brewed beer from God's Country, True Value Hardware Stores. More than just a name, it's their way of doing business at True Value. General Finance's 70 Chicagoland offices. And to borrow up to $10,000, just call Friendly Bob Adams. You'll find him at Andover 3-2020. Your gallant men of old, they have all the new 79 Oldsmobiles, so come on in for a test drive today. And by the Association of Chicagoland, McDonald's Restaurants. Nobody can do it like McDonald's can. Be a good day to enjoy one or two, too, wouldn't it? The umpiring crew, headed up by Ed Montague, has just come out to the field now. Penis Lowry, representing skipper Herman Franks, joining them, along with the big Pirate outfielder, Dave Parker, who has enjoyed his visits to Wrigley Field immensely. Hopefully, that will not be the case today. Before I have the batting orders for you and the lineups for today's first game of the series, let's take time out for these messages.
Boys, if you had a Marathon credit card, how would you feel?
Great!
Of course you would, because it would mean you could go to any Marathon station, get a little gas, or get your car fully serviced, and you wouldn't have to pay for it right away. You'd pay for it when you got your bill, with no interest charges if you pay it in full when you get it.
How do you qualify?
Well, first of all, by having good credit, meaning you do your job. In the case of you boys, that means playing a little music. Boy, that was a little music. To get a Marathon credit card, just go to your Marathon station, pick up an application, and if your work habits are better than some musicians I know, Marathon will send you your card and you're all set. Now, do you think you boys can play a little more music? Boys, you have to earn some money to get a Marathon credit card if you get my drift.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Like Marathon, me and the boys got together to do it better. And sometimes we do.
Mrs. Gerald Hinkleman of Darien improved the lowest tape total by shopping at Eagle. Mrs. Hinkleman purchased items of her own choice at Eagle for $44.26. She then purchased same or comparable items at a supermarket of her own choosing for $47.87. Now, Mrs. Hinkleman saved $3.61 at Eagle. That's documented savings of over 8%. Mrs. Hinkleman proved once again that you get more food for less money at Eagle, the food expert.
To take a moment here for station identification, this is the WGN Chicago Cubs Baseball Network.
Wake up with the Wally Phillips Show each weekday morning at 5:30 right here on WGN Radio Chicago.
Pushing over at third is Joe Lynette and Al Monchek in the coach's box at first base. A hot, very, very windy day. Omar Moreno will be leading off for the Pirates against Rick Reuschel, and he's having himself an outstanding season, batting .300 with 50 stolen bases. Tough to keep him off and tough to keep him from advancing. Tim Foli will be at shortstop batting second. Big Dave Parker in right field hitting third. Willie Stargell, the team captain at first base, batting cleanup. Johnny Milner, the veteran in left field, hitting fifth. Bill Madlock, who was with the Giants the last time we played these guys. Madlock at third. Ed Ott doing the catching. Ott batting seventh. Phil Garner playing at second base. Garner batting eighth. And Jim Rooker, 2 and 5 for the year. For the Cubs, it's going to be Ivan De Jesus to lead off at shortstop. Mike Vail in right field hitting second. Bill Buckner at first base batting third. Dave Kingman in left field batting cleanup. Jerry Martin in center field. Steve Ontiveros at third. Barry Foote doing the catching. Steve Dillard again at second base. And Reuschel 10 and 7 for the year. Moreno, a left-hander, steps in. Wind up in the first pitch, and he takes the ball but just misses outside, and the ball game is underway. Moreno with 6 homers, 1 against the Cubs. A swing and a liner right to second base. Steve Dillard playing it perfectly. And Moreno is retired on a line drive to second on the second pitch of the ball game. That'll bring up Tim Foli, one of the toughest guys in baseball to strike out. And spanned only 13 times in 397 trips to the plate officially. Batting average, .285. 44 runs batted in. Chokes up in the bat about 4 inches. First pitch, and Foley, a right-hander, takes, and Reuschel's low, ball 1. Pirates with a half-game lead in the East. Sidearm fastball, and Reuschel is just a little bit off the inside corner at the knees. 2-0. He went the distance against this ball club and shut him out. There's a swing and a drive into left field, a base hit, the first one of the afternoon. Kingman gets it in on the first hop, and Foley, a line shot into left field, is on with Dave Parker stepping in. Parker, well, he's hitting .299, far below what he anticipates hitting for the year. But he comes on strong in August and September. And in the last 13 games, he's hit safely in 12 of them, driven in a dozen runs in the last 11 ball games. He has 71 RBIs for the year with 18 home runs. 3 homers against the Cubs. And 9 runs batted in against the Cubs this year for Parker. Fully on at first in Reuschel's first pitch. A sinker is a little bit low, ball 1. The outfield is deep. Very deep. I'll mention again that strong wind blowing straight out to right field. There's a ball a little bit low again, and he's gotten behind 2-0 on this hitter, just as he did on Foley. Parker, a giant of a man. Here's a stretch, and the 2-0 delivery. Swung on, he fouls the fastball out of play to the third base side. Ball 2, strike 1. This copyrighted broadcast is presented by authority of the Chicago National League Ball Club, which has the right of approval of the announcers and is intended solely for the private and non-commercial use of our audience. Reuschel probably will work slower today because of the excessive heat. 2-1 delivery. Breaking pitch. Parker, a big swing. Got a piece of it, fouled it back out of play. Goes to 2-2. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the descriptions and accounts of the game without the express written consent of the Chicago National League Ball Club is prohibited. Fine turnout at Wrigley Field today. 2-2 pitch. Inside with a fastball above the knees. Ball 3, strike 2.
Vince, we may have a breaking record crowd today.
They are still coming in and standing. 1 out. We'll keep it on Foley. He goes. 3-2 pitch. Check swing on a curve. The throw to second base. He flies. He is safe. There was not a play, apparently, because there had been no call made to prevent Barry Foote from throwing. There was a check swing by Parker on the curve, and finally Montague looked at Dutch Renner, the third base umpire, and asked for an appeal on the check swing. And it turned out that he held up in time, so it was ball 4. The Pirates were embroiled in a big dispute earlier this year in a similar situation, only there it was 3-1 with the runner going. Turned out to be ball 4. But the runner going from first to second overslid second base. Here's Willie Stargell stepping in, swinging and missing for a strike. Well, Mr. Stargell's hitting .308. 22 home runs, 2 against the Cubs. 53 runs batted in. Swing and a miss. A good sinker that appeared to be below the knees. 0-2. Stargell says, you bet he's got butterflies. I think those butterflies think my stomach is O'Hare Field. They're always landing on it. 0-2 pitch. Gets under it. It's a high pop-up foul. Third base side out of play. Hot, broiling August sun. The temperature at game time was officially 90 degrees. Wind is shifting just a little bit now. It is blowing not towards right field as much as it is straightaway center. Blowing out hard. 0-2 pitch. Fastball wasted inside at the belt. It's 1-2 on Stargell. Against the Cubs this year, Stargell batting .355. 1 out. Pirate runners at first and second. Reuschel into the stretch. Here it is. Swing and a miss. He got it. The big cheer goes up. For Rick, that is his 70th strikeout of the year in 149 innings. He is not out of the woods. Johnny Milner, who came off the bench the other day against the Phillies as a pinch hitter with the bases loaded after Steve Nicosia, who was 4 for 4, was lifted for Milner. And all Milner did on the very first pitch is hit a grand slam home run. One of 12 homers he has this year. He's batting .277. With 41 runs batted in, the left-hander takes, and there's a strike, a breaking ball. Then on a hot streak. Buck runner still at first and second with 2 gone. Strike one delivery. Milner swings, bouncing ball. Buckner backs up. He has it. Reuschel off the hill. Picks the throw in plenty of time. And the Pirates do not score in the first inning. After 2 men reach with only 1 out, Reuschel comes through. And the Cubs come to bat against the left-hander Jim Rooker at Wrigley Field. There's no score.
Summer in Florida. The fish are running. The attractions are jumping. The beach is glistening. And the people are driving down in droves. More than 20,000 cars are crossing our border every day without gas problems. To make sure you arrive happy, we've established a toll-free gas information phone number. For gas facts anywhere between you and Florida, just call 1-800-874-8660. We've also established traveler stations to guarantee gas along Florida's highways. There are groups of gas stations open from 7 a.m. to at least 9 p.m. 7 days a week. We're sure you won't need them, but we don't want you to worry on your vacation. For a map of these special gas stations, call that toll-free number we gave you, 1-800-874-8660, or stop by any of our Florida welcome stations just as you enter the state. Hop in your car and take in all of our sunshine and sightseeing. After all, you work hard 50 weeks a year, so you can enjoy your 2 weeks in the sun. Come on down.
A message from the Florida Division of Tourism.
Nobody can do it like McDonald's can. That's not a boast, it's a promise. And now, through August 26th, at participating McDonald's, we're backing that promise with a special guarantee. If your first bite tells you the food isn't hot, we'll replace it. If there's an available table, it will be cleaned for you or the meal's on us. And we'll thank you for your purchase or we'll pay the bill. Hot food, clean table, friendly service. Nobody can do it like McDonald's can. That's our guarantee.
DeJesus to lead off against the veteran left-hander Jim Rooker. Yvonne batting .278 with 4 home runs for the year and 38 runs batted in. The Cubs as a team, 98 homers. Cub pitchers have allowed 88 home runs by the opposition, so the Cubs have the edge there. And as a team, the Cubs batting .273 starting this series. The Pirates as a team are hitting .272. As far as homers are concerned, the Pirates 106 to 98 by the Cubs, so there's not much difference there, is there? Both teams claim that they've got outstanding bullpens. Pirates with Jacoby, Jackson, Romo, 3 that they have called on repeatedly with great success. And in this stifling heat here today, it would be a minor miracle if either Rooker, 36 years of age, or Reuschel would be able to go the distance. Rooker with 2 wins for the year, both against the Cubs. And an elusive goal for him has been his 100th victory in his career, making his 13th start this year. Is 2-5. Curveball from the left-hander, and Jesus takes it inside for ball 1. It is also going to be a test today of durability of plate umpire Ed Montague. Fastball this time. DeJesus goes after it, fouls it back out of play. Rooker has been a very, very tough man against the Cubs. He allowed 1 run in each of his 2 victories this season over us. Mike Vail in the on-deck circle. A big yellow balloon goes wafting over the third base foul line. Now at about the level of the upper deck. The strike called. Yvonne taking a look at one that he thought was going to be outside. Ball 1, strike 2. They appear to be hanging from the rafters here today. No score, the windup by Rooker. There's a swing, well hit drive, left field. Milner racing hard, he leaps high, and nobody's struck. Bounces off the base of the wall. DeJesus goes into second base with a stand-up line double. On a count of 1 and 2, he labeled it. His 17th 2-base hit of the year. The Cubs have a chance to grab the lead. Mike Vail stepping in, batting .327. 4 home runs, 19 runs batted in for this big strapping right-hander. Been a bat only 101 times this year with 33 base hits. Rooker's earned run average coming into the action, 3.87. Just a shade lower than that of Reuschel. Here's the pitch. Let's up on it. He swings and he's out in front. Bounces a foul off the wall past the Cup dugout. Caroms out into shallow left field. Milner, Marino, and Parker in the outfield. In left, center, and right. Stargell for Vail is about 15 feet off the line at first base. Veteran Phil Garner is shaded well up the middle. Tim Foli, the veteran at shortstop, whom they obtained from the Mets for Frankie Tavares, is actually squeezing Vail a little bit up the middle. And Bill Madlock. Doesn't it look strange to see him in a Pirate uniform, playing at third about 5 feet off the line. Rooker, long look at second, delivers. Fastball swung on, drive in right field, base hit. Parker charging the ball, and Alpatano waving the runner to the plate. Here's the throw, too late. The Cubs have a 1-0 lead. Mike Vail's opposite field single. And there is nobody out.
That's what it means for an individual to go to the opposite field to move his teammate to third. You're apt to get a base hit. And that's exactly what Vail did. And Joe Malpatano doing a great job of coaching. He knows Parker has one of the strongest arms in baseball, but Parker wasn't set. He had to go to his right to field the ball.
And his throw was not a typical Parker throw.
That's the reason, because he had to go to his right. Now Malpatano noticing that.
Now Bill Buckner stepping in. He fought off a slump against the Cardinals over the weekend. Brought his batting average up to 277. He had dipped under 270. So it is left-hander against left-hander here. Buck got his 10th home run of the year over the weekend and has batted in 53 runs. Cubs leading 1-0, nobody out. Rooker's first pitch takes the letter high strike. Vail, of course, is not a great threat to steal. Stargell playing just in front of the first base bag with 1 foot in foul territory. They're playing Buckner to pull. Rooker's delivery, fastball, strike call. Came right over the top with it. 0-2. Buckner says he's gone to a heavier bat, and that's helped him come out of that slump he was in. Dave Kingman in the on-deck circle. He has been consistent all season long. Pirates hoping for a double play. Rooker ready. 0-2 pitch. Throws his bat at it. Drives one into right field. A base hit. Mike Vail makes the turn. He's going to go to third. Here's Parker's throw. He slides. He is safe. And he barely held out of the bag with one hand as he almost overslid third base. So Buckner with a count of 0-2 holds a shot into right field. The Cubs have runners at first and third. Nobody out. And there's going to be a mighty roar when Dave Kingman moves into the batter's box. Some of the fans are standing for Kingman. Rooker does not appear to be shaken. Dave batting .294, 37 homers, 88 runs batted in, and nobody out. They are hoping for a double play ball. First pitch that he takes, it's a ball too high. Garner is still on the first base side of the infield by about 5 or 6 feet, very deep. Fully deep at shortstop. Stargell holding Buckner on. Here's a ball that breaks low. Ball 2.
Well, you never can get enough runs against these Pirates. They beat the Phillies, I think, one game 10-8. So,
and came from behind to do it.
And this is one of the reasons why Tanner has a lot of confidence in his ball club in scoring runs. Nobody is warming up yet for Pittsburgh.
2-0 delivery. Kingman tempted, takes. The fastball is in there. They were way down against Philadelphia in the first game of that doubleheader Sunday. And then came from behind. And the climactic blow came in the bottom of the 9th inning when Johnny Milner matched the earlier grand slammer by the Bull, Craig Luzinski, with one of his own a pinch hit job. Fastball, hit low. Ball 3, strike 1. The first visit by Pittsburgh into Chicago this year, they swept the 3-game series. And the Cubs are now 2-7 against them for the year and hoping to make it 3-7 today. 3-1 delivery. Fastball and a swing and a miss. Did not have a good Kingman cut. 3-2. Vail on at third and Buckner at first base. We'll keep an eye on Buckner. I was chatting down there with first base umpire Lenny Harris. 3-2 delivery from Rooker. Instead, a throw to first base.
I don't think he'll be going because of the number of times Dave Kingman will strike out.
He'd surprise the daylights out of me if he'd go. But maybe he figures he can steal. No, he's not going to go. There's a swing and a drive to left field, base hit. Mike Vail scores. It's 2-0 Cubs. Buckner coming around to third. Amalfitano will hold him. And Kingman's double to the warning track in left center field. 4 straight hits. A double, a pair of singles. And now Kingman with a double has just batted in his 89th run of the year. He now has 3 more than Mike Schmidt of the Phillies, leading the National League. Conceded a little bit with 2 strikes on him, but made solid contact, and now there will be action down the right field line. Joe Coleman spent most of his years in the American League, sometime at the Chicago Cubs, starts to throw for the Pirates as Jerry Martin stepping in. Runners at second and third. There's nobody out. Martin batting .288, 14 homers. Got that 14th over the weekend. Jerry with 56 runs batted in. Rooker's first pitch swung on. Ground ball to shortstop, and they've got Buckner trapped. Kingman goes to third. Now hold there, Dave. Here's a throw to Madlock, tags him. Now the runner going to second, and he's out. Part of it was good base running. Martin gambling. I don't know what happened to him once he got down to first base, but he was late getting into second. And Madlock, after putting the tag on Buckner, was caught in the rundown. We had runners at second and third. There was nowhere for him to go on that ground ball, but he thought he might try to score on it.
We have to give Pittsburgh infield credit since
Did a
they
good
played
job.
it the way it should have been played. With Foley playing back, Kingman anticipated that they would give the Cubs the run.
So did Buckner.
If you recall, Templeton did
Yeah.
in St. Louis series, but not Foley.
Here's Ontiveros taking a curve that bounces into the backstop. And here comes Dave Kingman to the plate. So it is a gift on a wild pitch from Rooker. And the Cubs now have a 3-0 lead.
When we get back to that infield play with Foley throwing to the catcher, and the catcher seeing Kingman going to third made only 1 throw. That did not give Martin time enough to get the second, and that's where you make your play in the infield, the least number of throws. They're saying that ball hit onto Barrett, so the run will not score. But if you only make 1 throw, that speedster who left the batter's box, and Martin is not a speedster, but even a speed runner cannot get the second. They played it perfectly.
Chuck Tanner is out there beeping to Ed Montague. Ed Ott, their catcher, also registering a beep. We're going to take a look at it again on our television monitor on the replay. A breaking ball down and in. Ontiveros taking it all the way. Just slid back a little bit with his feet. And if he was hit, he gave absolutely no indication of it as the ball got past him onto the backstop.
And Ontiveros better not limp, I'll tell you that.
He didn't even move a foot, Lou, as though he'd been grazed by it at all. So we are gifted with a run. And every little bit helps. It's now 3-0 with 2 out. And a count of 2-0 on Steve is hitting .273. 4 homers, 38 runs batted in. He's in the throes of a very deep slump. Infield is back. Here's Martin. Or here's Ontiveros taking, and there's a strike. 2-1 on him. That double play, by the way, is a fastball high, 3-1. Gives the Pirates 105 double plays for the year. Rooker winding, 3-1 delivery. Fastball, and he's late, fouls it. Now the right field side into the box seats, right near the Pittsburgh Pirate bullpen bench. The only occupant has got a big Turkish towel draped over his head. Looks like he just came in off the desert. A double, a pair of singles, and a double in the inning by the Cubs. They have a 3-0 lead. Now the count is 3-2 in the pitch. Steve swings, base hit, right field. Went with the pitch, did not take a hard shot at it. Hit number 5 in the inning, and that brings up Barry Foote, the big catcher, hitting .236. 10 homers and 30 runs batted in. Rooker from the stretch again. There's a fastball for a strike. He is probably now beginning to feel comfortable working from the stretch because he has been doing it ever since De Jesus doubled, except after the wild pitch that brought in Kingman. Here's a strike called in the inside corner. It's 0-2. 9 times he's gone after that 100th career victory without success. 2-5 for the year. Here's a delivery fastball. He misses away. Ball 1, strike 2. But his 2 victories come against the Cubs. But a very shaky start for this 36-year-old southpaw here today. 1-2 delivery. Foote takes a curve into the dirt, bounces away from Ott, and Ontiveros will advance to second base. Another wild pitch. Rooker helping the Cubs' cause. Not intentionally. And let's see if Foote can come up with a base hit to bring in Ontiveros. With 2 out. The Pirates threatened against Reuschel in the top of the inning with a single and a walk after the one man had been retired, but then he struck out Stargell and retired the side with Milner's ground ball to Buckner, with Reuschel taking the throw. 2-2 delivery now. Barry takes a breaking ball inside at the knees, and the count goes to 3-2. Steve Dillard in the on-deck circle. Joe Malpatano and Cookie Rojas coaching as usual for the Cubs at third and first. The outfield swung around to the left for Barry. Rooker checking out of air. 3-2 pitch. Goes after a fastball around the shoulders and fouls it out of play. What's the 7th Cub to come to the plate here in this first inning? Coleman continuing to toil in the bullpen. Doesn't have to worry about getting warm, just get loose. The stretch by Rooker. 3-2 pitch, Barry. Checks, he swings, a strike called on a breaking ball. Cubs are retired with a strikeout, and at the end of 1 at Wrigley Field, the Cubs lead the Pirates 3-0.
A lot of people are afraid to buy big cars nowadays. They think big cars are gas guzzlers with prices to match their size. The fact is, the big, luxurious Delta 88 is no more expensive than some of those little foreign cars you think will save you money. You'll be surprised to know that according to a recently completed independent survey done in the Chicagoland area, you can actually save $1,100 by purchasing an Olds Delta 88 instead of a Volkswagen Dasher. And yet, some people are willing to sacrifice the big car comfort and luxury of an Olds Delta 88 just to save $59 a year in fuel. Because $59 is all you'll save in average annual fuel costs if you buy a Dasher instead of an Olds Delta 88, according to the most recent edition of the EPA Gas Mileage Guide. Delta 88 estimated MPG is 18. Use this number for comparison. The actual mileage you get may be different. See your gallant men of Olds today. Find out how we can make car buying a pleasure for you, even now.
You shouldn't have to stoop to do tedious lawn trimming jobs when you can trim without bending or stooping with a Weed Eater Clippy trimmer from True Value Hardware Stores. Hi, Pat Summerall to tell you the Weed Eater trimmer makes it easy to trim grass around trees and bushes and along the house and fence. The lightweight Clippy trimmer features one-handed control.
And as we move into the second inning, Bill Madlock, twice the batting champion, stepping in, batting .278. Veteran right-hander takes, and there's a strike. Fastball has 9 homers, 56 runs batted in. That includes tenure with the Giants. There's a swing, and he rolls one out to De Jesus right. Bond comes up with it. Madlock going pretty hard. Still out by a couple of steps. His first appearance in the batter's box in a Pirate uniform at Wrigley Field. Take a moment before Ed Ott steps in for station identification. This is the WGN Chicago Cubs Baseball Network.
This is WGN Radio Chicago. It's Bob Collins Show weekday evenings between 7 and 9 right here on WGN Chicago.
Ott hitting .252, Burley left-hander. And he takes Reuschel's first pitch and strikes right at the letters. That's a good start. He has 5 homers this year and driven in 30 runs. The kick to pitch, fastball, letter high strike. And he normally will not come upstairs like that. 0-2 on Ott. Reuschel working quickly, sidearm, pitch outside. Ball 1, strike 2. Phil Garner in the on-deck circle. Bases empty, Cubs leading 3-0. There's a swing, he's out in front, and he rips a foul into the box seat down the right field line. Reuschel yesterday was one of a handful of Cubs who participated in the Chicago Baseball Cancer Charities outing. Here's a swing and a ground ball taken by Dillard. Reuschel off the mound, stabs the bag with a foot. Fine coverage that time by Rick. He took nothing for granted as Buckner went to his right. Dillard behind him made the play on the ball, and Reuschel, doing as he should, came off that mound in a hurry.
We don't want too many of those today, though.
No.
He's already had 2, one in the first inning and one here in the second.
And let's see whether or not they might at some time try to bunt on him a little while.
Yes, that's a possibility. Although this Pirate Ball Club, Marino, probably the only one Foley made, too.
Most of them look at the bunt as though it's curse of leprosy.
They don't give that many bunt signs. The majority of them.
Garner, tough clutch hitter. Looked at a couple of pitches that missed. 2-0 on him. He's hitting .299. Sidearm fastball. Garner takes for a strike. He has 7 homers, 31 runs batted in. 1 of his 7 homers against the Cubs, and 6 of his 31 runs batted in against the Cubs. He's hurt us. 2-1 delivery. Fastball. Just missed. He's a throwback to the old school. Real scrapper. Not gifted with the greatest talent in the world. 3-1 pitch swung on. Shot past Reuschel. Dillard behind second. Braces throws. He is out to retire the side. And a little beeping down there by Al Bonchek, the first base coach. They thought Garner had beaten it out as Dillard apparently has robbed him, going behind second base. And the youngster over the top with that throw. Buckner with a long stretch. A close play, but the Cubs get the call. And the Cubs come to bat at the bottom of inning number 2 at Wrigley Field, still leading 3-0.
Perfect brewing water. Gottlieb Heilemann spent years searching for it. Then, on a day back in 1853, he found it. Sparkling, pure Wisconsin spring water. Today, Heilemann's Old Style is still brewed with virgin, pure water from underground springs that, legend has it, flow all the way from Canada. Still brewed in the old world way called cloisoning. It's the most natural way to brew beer and the most expensive. It's brewing a beer not once, but twice. Double brewing, pure brewing. The way the great European brewmasters have brewed their beers for centuries. It's the only way we brew Heilemann's Old Style. Next time, make it Old Style. Pure brewed in God's country, slowly and naturally. G. Heilemann Brewing Company, La Crosse, Wisconsin.
Your humble home can be the source of some not-so-humble cash these days. Cash in the form of the General Finance Homeowner's Loan. You see, General Finance can loan you up to $10,000 on the equity you have in your home. Equity, of course, is the difference between your mortgage balance and your home's market value. And a General Finance Homeowner's Loan lets you put your equity to work for you without disturbing your mortgage. There are 70 General Finance offices in the Chicago area. Call the one nearest you today.
Steve Dillard just robbed. Phil Garner of a base hit is leading off the second inning for the Cubs. Sizemore has been in the throes of a long slump. Dillard has been doing an excellent job since being put in there at second base. The right-hander with 16 hits and 55 at bats puts the bunch at the first base side. Backhanded by the pitcher Rooker, who makes a fine play on him to nail it. Just missed getting a bunt single.
Well, I'm glad to see that. That's one trip for Rooker, and it's a much tougher trip than the 2 Reuschel made because he had to react quickly.
Yeah.
And he made a great play even to get Dillard.
The ball been just a little bit harder off the bat, Lou. I think it had gotten by Rooker. Then he'd had himself a bunt single. But Rooker, a good athlete and a good fielder, came off the mound in a hurry to the first base side. Backhanded the ball, got it in his glove, and then got it out of there and fired just in time to Stargell. So Reuschel stepping in, 4 hits for the year, takes the first pitch a curve that's into the dirt, ball 1. Driven in 4 runs. Rooker winds, here's the pitch. Fastball, it's in there. Ball 1, strike 1. Reno playing very shallow for him in center field. The wind again is blowing out more towards right field at about 25 miles an hour. Reuschel looks in there, the ball. Ball 2, strike 1. Pirates knocked off the Phillies 5 in a row over the weekend. Fastball. And he takes ball 3, strike 1. That one missed. They've been a hot ball club. Won 19 and lost only 7 of their last 26 ball games. There's a fastball, and he loses Reuschel. Now, is that good or bad? He's going to have to be out there in the bases in this hot sun with a walk. Get him out of there in a hurry. Yvonne, how about planting one in from the bleachers? Reuschel, I'd mentioned earlier, was one of the handful of the Cup players, along with general manager Bob Kennedy and field manager Herman Franks, who participated yesterday in the annual baseball cancer charities outing for Chicago. Some of the fellows, of course, some physical ailments. Some just needed that day off for a little R&R. Reuschel thoroughly enjoyed it. Jesus steps in. He fouls that one into the upper deck on the first base side. Ivan doubled to lead off the ball game and scored, coming in on Mike Vail, single to right field. Reuschel with a short lead. So Ivan's batting average hovering near the 280 mark for the season. Left-hander in the hill fire, splits up on that a little bit, and he fouls it out of play. Pretty nifty catch made over there in the first base side, right near the aisle. 0-2. They are standing both in the upper deck and downstairs and standing in the bleachers. Breeze helping to dry the people off here just a little bit. With the temperature in the 90s, and it's got to be several degrees hotter than that down in the field. 0-2 pitch. Jammed with it, and he pops it up. Stargell, the first baseman, behind the bag in fair territory, gloves it just on the edge of the outfield grass. The wind started to play some tricks with that one. So with 2 out, Reuschel still at first base. Vail steps in. After singling and driving into Jesus, he got the third on Buckner's base hit and then came in on Kingman's double. Well, Dave, the leader in the National League with 89 runs batted in. Don Baylor of the California Angels leads the American League and leads the majors in RBIs with 97. The first pitch at a big swing and a miss, and the crowd goes, ooh. Was trying to whack one out of here. He has 4 homers for the year. But, of course, has been used only sparingly. 2 out. Goes after a high one. Rooker, when he is on, can baffle a hitter with his delivery. Sometimes it is very, very smooth. And every once in a while he'll start, and it seems that body comes through, and then finally the arm. 0-2 pitch. Goes after a breaking ball down and in, got a piece of it, fouled it up against the Cup dugout on the third base side. 0-2 on Mike. Bobby Mercer having quite a night for the Yankees last night with a 3-run homer and then winning the ball game with a 2-run hit down the left field line in the 9th inning. He said he had dedicated that, as had all the Yankees, in memory of their great teammate Thurman Munson. It was a sad occasion. The Yankee players did, and many others who went to that funeral, but putting Munson to rest yesterday. Here's a swing and a high fly ball down the right field line. Parker is there. Big fella waits. Reaches up at the last moment. The wind started to take it over his head, but with that big reach, He managed to glove it to retire the Cubs in the second inning. And at the end of 2 here at windy Wrigley Field, it's still the Cubs 3, the Pittsburgh Pirates, nothing. Another fall premiere bulletin from Carroll's Red Hanger Shops. You know how it is. You find a pair of slacks that fit right and look great, and you wear them every time you want to make a terrific impression, whether it's on the boss or a favorite lady, or just to please yourself. But alas, they wear out in a few months. Well, my friend, Carroll's Red Hanger Shops can help you solve that problem. They'll put you into a pair of J-Mar Sansabelt dress slacks, which simply won't wear out, because they're the symbol of quality in tailoring, made of today's Dacron polyester. And only Sansabelt offers you that exclusive patented waistband with triple stretch webbing that's guaranteed for the life of the slacks. Hey, relax. It's today's Dacron polyester, woven into a gabardine fabric, so your slacks will be wrinkle-resistant and washable. Carroll's has them in a complete range of sizes, $30 for regulars, $35 for big and tall sizes. Treat yourself now to J-Mar quality at Carroll's Red Hanger Shops.
There are 9 Carroll's shops, including State and Washington and 63rd and Kedzie. That's Carroll's with a capital K. Say, enjoy the flowers of summer in the tropical setting of the Greenhouse Restaurant in Palatine. Renowned for delicious American and continental cuisine, enjoy a Greenhouse specialty like roast duckling, veal Oscar, rack of lamb, and after dinner relax to the smooth vocals of Chris Rayburn, currently featured in the Greenhouse Lounge. And don't forget the Greenhouse Sunday Brunch, where tempting selections provide a perfect beginning to the week. Visit the Greenhouse in Palatine for a super summer lunch, brunch, or dinner. For reservations, phone 991-2110. That's 991-2110.
There are a lot of guys out here today getting a great suntan. Most of them stripped now to the shorts. And a lot of the gals who look like they are outfitted for the beach. But today, it's normal wear at Old Wrigley Field. Vince Lloyd, Bill Boudreau, and here is Phil Bird. Bill, come on in.
Thank you, Vinny. First pitch swung on, hit to right field. Right fielder Vail coming over, makes the over-the-head grab. Out number 1. So Rooker, first ball hitting on Reuschel to start the Pirates' third inning, drives one to the alley in right center field, but Mike Vail got a good jump on it and makes the catch. So we go to the top of the Pirate order, and that means Omar Moreno. He lined to second baseman Steve Dillard, his first time up. Started today a 300 hitter and is right on target in the stolen base department. Last year led the major leagues with 71. He had a success percentage of 76, and that's the way it is this year. Takes the first pitch for a strike. The speedy left-handed batting Omar Moreno, who's stolen 50 bases so far in 66 attempts, to put him right at 76% again. Here's Reuschel's next pitch. Outside, count even, 1-1. Moreno will be followed by Foley. Cubs lead it 3-0. That's inside. Ball 2. Ball 2, strike 1 count on Pirates leadoff man Omar Moreno. 2-1 delivery. Hit to left field. Kingman going back. Makes the grab easily. About 15 feet in front of the warning track. Omar going to the opposite field with a fly ball to Kingman. And that brings up Tim Foli. Foley has the only Pirate hit off Reuschel so far. He singled in the first inning. Takes the first pitch for a strike. The Cubs with 3 in the first off of Rooker. Swing and a foul up the net. So Reuschel, working quickly as he always does, out in front of Tim Foli. The Pirate shortstop, 0-2. Swing and a foul up the net. So Reuschel, working quickly as he always does, out in front of Tim Foli. The Pirate shortstop, 0-2. Rick fires, hit up the middle, base hit. Rick didn't waste one, and Foley was ready, and he slapped it up the middle by Reuschel for a clean single into center field. So Tim Foley is 2 for 2, and we go to Dave Parker. Parker, the defending National League batting champion. 2 years in a row with 338 and 334 seasons put back to back. And the National League MVP. Always dangerous. Walked his first time up. Starts the day at 299 hitter. Swings on the first pitch and hits it foul back into the seats out of play. A lot of guys getting base hits in this ball game when they're behind in the count. DeJesus, Vail, and Buckner all reached when they were behind in the count. Foley here gets a base hit when he's down 0-2. Next pitch, check swing, but it is a strike. No ball, 2-strike count on Pirate right fielder Dave Parker. 18 homers, 71 RBIs. Reuschel from the stretch. Hit down the left field line by Ontiveros. It'll go for extra bases. Foley coming around second, going for third. Makes the turn. He's going home. It's way in the corner, and here goes Parker for third. He slides. He's safe. Ball gets away from Ontiveros. It's backed up by Reuschel. So a triple down in the corner in left field by Dave Parker with 2 outs here in the third produces the first Pirate run of the afternoon as Foley scampers around from first to score it. You just can't fool around with Parker. And it's in keeping with what I said just a moment ago. An awful lot of guys on both sides are getting base hits when they're behind in the count. Here's Parker with 2 strikes on him, an 0-2 count, and he triples to the corner. Swing and a miss by Stargell. Willie struck out his first time up. This is one day when the pitchers cannot relax when they're ahead of the hitters. Reuschel's next pitch, strike. So here we go again. He's out in front of the hitter, 0-2. Here it comes, swing and a miss. And for the second time in 2 appearances, Willie Stargell goes down via the strikeout. In the inning for the Pirates, they get 1 run, and we go now to the bottom of the third with a score of the Cubs 3 and the Pirates 1. Milberg and Vince Lloyd back at Wrigley Field. We go to the Cub half of the third inning. The Cubs leading the Pirates by a score of 3-1. And Bill Buckner will lead it off. He'll be followed by Dave Kingman and then Jerry Martin. So the 3, 4, and 5 hitters up there for the Cubs in the home half of the third. Buckner singled to right in the first inning to extend his hitting streak to 6 consecutive games. Since coming off the road trip, Billy Buck has definitely come out of the slump that plagued him. Takes the first pitch, a fastball for a strike. Buckner was cut down at the plate trying to score on a ground ball, hit to deep short by Martin. Then eventually ended up turning into a double play. Here's Rooker's next pitch. In the dirt. Curveball that went about 58 feet and bounced by Ott. So far, Rooker has uncorked 2 wild pitches in this ball game. One of them costing him a run as Kingman came across with the Cubs' 3rd run in the first inning. But nobody on here, of course, so no damage. 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball. 1-2. Buckner a little disgusted with himself that he didn't get the bat on that. Steps out. Psychs himself a little bit, kicks some dirt around, and he's ready to dig in again. Cubs 3, Pirates 1, bottom of the third. First of a 3-game series with the Bucks. Here it is. Hit hard to the second baseman, Garner. He's got it and throws to Stargell for the out. The ball was hit on one hop like a shot, but right at Garner. So that brings up Kingman. He doubled and drove in a run in the first inning. Ott went full on Kingman in the first inning before he lined a double to the alley in left center. That scored Vail. Breaking ball hit up in the air. Kingman flips the bat away in disgust as the shortstop calls for the ball and makes the grab. Tim Foli getting under a sky.
The initial out being Buckner cut down trying to score from third, and then Martin being doubled up as he tried to take second. It was one of those strange 6-2-5-4 double plays. So here's Jerry. Fastball swung on, he hit foul, out of play. Ott coming back, but he doesn't have a chance. It's 7 rows in. Martin, a .288 hitter starting today with 14 homers and 56 RBIs. Flips the face mask and helmet to Ott. Ed set to crouch behind the plate, gives the sign to Rooker, and we'll be ready to go again. On deck, Ontiveros. Rooker, for the moment at least, seems to be settling down after a very, very rocky first inning. The one-strike pitch is a breaking ball fouled at the plate. Martin really took a rip, but just got a little piece of it. So again, Rooker moves out ahead of the hitter, 0-2. Outfield straight away and very deep for Jerry Martin. Number 5 hitter in Herman Frank's lineup this afternoon against Chuck Tanner's Pirates. Rooker has his sign. Here it is. Waste pitch, fastball outside and high, ball 1. 1-2 on Martin. White Sox play tonight against the Yankees in New York. Cubs right now in the bottom of the third, leading the Pirates 3-1. Next pitch, curveball, hit to left field, hit deep, way back, way back. It is home run! There you have an example again of the pitcher being ahead of the hitter. He was out in front of Martin, 1-2. But he hung a breaking ball, and Jerry was ready for it, and he put it in the seat deep in left field. Milner went back. All he could do was look up and watch it soar on out. And the Cubs have another run. They're up 4-1. Jerry Martin's 15th home run of the year, and RBI number 57. Here's Ontiveros. He ducks away from a fastball inside ball 1. On the 1-2 pitch, Jerry Martin unloads. Breaking ball, that misses ball 2. Well, Jerry struggled from the All-Star break looking for the long ball. Got a home run against the Cardinals for number 14. Gets number 15 here. Let's hope he's back in stride. Ball 3 down low and inside to Ontiveros. Steve singled and reached second on a wild pitch, his first trip. Batting right-handed against the left-handed pitching of Rooker. Here's the 3-0 delivery. At the strike, fastball, the automatic 3-1. 3-1 pitch. Little chopper down to second base. Can't get it. It's into right field. And he's on with a base hit. Garner was playing him around to the left, was not playing a conventional second base. He made a good effort to get over to grab the ball. He had to make a long run. Looked like he might be able to make the glove hand stab, but at the last moment, the ball took a little skip. It was tough enough to get there if the ball stayed true on the dirt, but it didn't. It took a little skip into right field, and so Garner really never had a chance. Ontiveros is on at first with his second hit of the afternoon on his foot. Swing and a foul back to the net on a breaking ball, strike 1.
Barry was called out on strikes on basically that same pitch in his first appearance at the plate. A low curveball on the inside corner. 4-1, Cubs leading. They picked up run number 4 in this inning and a towering home run by Jerry Martin. Swing and a foul out of play, back of the Pirate dugout. So, though it sounds like a broken record, here we go again. Rooker is ahead of the hitters. Usually when a pitcher stays ahead of the hitters, he's in control of the ball game. The exact opposite has been the case so far today. Rooker's been getting out in front, and the Cubs have still been clubbing him. They have really been hanging tough with 2 strikes on him. Let's see what Foote does here. Crowd wants more. Who could blame them? The Pirates can score a ton. You're never safe. It's 4-1 Cubs, bottom of the 3rd, with 2 gone. Next pitch hits the left. It is curving foul. Foote got out in front of it and really ripped it, but it was foul all the way. And Rooker now strides off the mound, goes out on the grass, tugs at the bill of his cap, and is probably thinking, what the devil do I throw these guys to get anybody out? Here's the pitch, breaking ball. This time Barry laid off it, and it's a ball. Ott wants the appeal, doesn't get it. 1-2. Steve Dillard on deck. The Cubs now with 4 runs on 7 hits. The Pirates 1 run on 3. 1-2 pitch. Fastball misses. 2-2. Off the black outside. Ball 2, strike 2 count on Cub catcher Barry Foote. Wide stance. Swing in the bat. Now levels it. We're ready. Breaking ball in the dirt. Good stop by Ott. Count is full. 3-2. Rooker's had a lot of trouble with his curveball. He did get Barry Foote with probably the best curveball he's thrown. But he hung one to Martin, and he charged it out of here, and he's throwing a couple of wild pitches, one on a curveball. Here's the 3-2 pitch, runner going. It's ball 4 anyway. Ontiveros on at second. Foote goes down to first, and here comes Dillard. And time is called. Chuck Tanner's coming out, and I think he's seen enough. That's it. So we're going to have a change of pitchers, and for the moment, what do you say we pause for station identification? This is the WGN Chicago Cubs Baseball Network.
Join Milt Rosenberg for Extension 720, heard Tuesday through Friday beginning at 9, right here on WGN Radio, Chicago.
We're back in Wrigley Field. The Pirates are going to make a pitching change while we have a delay in the game. Let's pause for these messages.
Borrow up to $10,000 or for a large homeowner's loan, call and over 3-2020.
Nobody can do it like McDonald's can. That's not a boast, it's a promise. And now, through August 26th, at participating McDonald's, we're backing that promise with a special guarantee. If your first bite tells you the food isn't hot, we'll replace it. If there's an available table, it will be cleaned for you or the meal's on us. And we'll thank you for your purchase or we'll pay the bill.
Bill Berg and Vince Lloyd back in Wrigley Field. We're in the bottom of the 3rd inning. The Cubs still at bat, leading 4-1. We've had a pitching change. The veteran Joe Coleman in now for the Pirates. Coleman picked up from Oakland by Pittsburgh. He's seen limited service this season. He's only pitched 12 in a 3rd innings. He's given up 7 runs, 3 of them earned, 13 hits, 4 walks, 5 strikeouts. Served up the home run ball 1 time. Has an ERA of 2.20. And the first man he will face will be Cubs second baseman Steve Dillard, who was out trying to punt his first time, and there he gets a big hit to left. Here comes Ontiveros around. He will score Cub run number 5. Big hit by Steve. Steve Dillard picks on the first pitch offered by Coleman and dumps it into left field for a clean single, scoring on Ontiveros, and the Cubs now have a 5-1 lead in this ball game. And a boy, Steve, tried to reach with a bunt his first time up. That time he swung away and really delivered. Foote stopped at second. So we go to Reuschel. He walked his first appearance. Just when it looked like Rooker might be settling down after a very rough first inning, the roof fell in again on him, and overall he pitched 2 1/3 innings. Gave up 5 runs with that one being charged to him. A total of 7 hits. He struck out 1 and walked 2 and served up the gopher ball to Martin. Sidearm strike to Reuschel, strike 1. So 5 runs charged to Rooker. A very rough afternoon for him, to say the least. And the Cubs are still at it here in the bottom of the 3rd. Reuschel trying to help his own cause and pad that lead. He has 2 on. Right field, makes it. Parker charges it. Rooker Foote coming around third. He's going to hold up, respecting the strong arm of Dave Parker, who fired it to Ott on 2 hops. The bases are loaded for DeJesus. So far, Coleman has been no mystery. Dillard hit his first pitch into left field for a clean single, scoring on Ontiveros. And now Reuschel goes to the opposite field with a line drive single to right. And the Cubs, to say the least, are teeing off on Pirate pitching here in the first game of this series. Here's DeJesus. He doubled and scored in the first inning. He popped out to Willie Stargell at first, his second trip. Come on, let's pick up a couple more with 2 outs. Trying to break this thing wide open. 5-1. Cubs over the Pirates. Bottom of the 3rd inning at Wrigley Field. Packed house. First pitch, strike. Well, the Cubs now have 9 hits in the first 3 innings of this ball game, and hopefully they're not through yet. Mike Vail on deck. Coleman at the belt. Here's the pitch. It is a ball. Montague says it missed. 1-1. Barry Foote on third. Steve Dillard on second. Rick Reuschel on first. 2 gone. DeJesus the batter. 1-1 pitch. Check swing, and it's a ball. 2-1. Crowd loving every bit of it. Vinny and I aren't exactly going to get out the handkerchiefs for Pittsburgh either. 2-1. Come on, Yvonne. Line drive, base hit, 1 run in. Dillard coming around. He's going to score. Reuschel going to third. DeJesus going to second. He's got a double. It is 7-1. The Cubs are breaking it wide open on the red-hot division-leading Pittsburgh Pirates. Here's Mike Vail, DeJesus delivering on the 2-1 pitch, his second double of the afternoon. Vail takes a strike, strike 1. Reuschel over at third, Yvonne over at second. Barry Foote and Steve Dillard having checked in back in the Cub dugout for a breather. Vail singled and drove in a run, his first appearance. Swings a nice pitch, hit down to Foley at first. Bobble the ball! They're not going to get anybody, and Reuschel scored. E6. Tim Foli. Charles the Hopper. E6. Tim Foli charged the Hopper. Couldn't grab the handle. It got away from it. Reuschel came up the line to score the Cubs' 5th run of the inning and 8th run of the ball game. And Vail is on at first base. The Cubs have batted around. It all started with Buckner grounding out, and he's up again. No RBI for Vail there. The Pirates should have been out of the inning. Pitcher's outside for ball one.
But a nice break there, Bill, because that gets Reuschel off the bases and then the dugout a while.
Exactly.
You can use it.
For sure. Let everybody cool off a little bit. And Billy Buck going to make Joe Coleman work a little bit. The Pirates still in a jam with Cub runners at first and third and two gone. There's a ball. Ball two. Nobody else heating up in the Pirate bullpen. Well, I'll tell you, Chuck Tanner's a little steamed, however. The Cubs with an 8-1 lead in the bottom of the third. Here's the next pitch. Hit foul down the right field line against the bricks. 2-1 on Buckner. Bill singled his first trip to extend his consecutive game hitting string to 6. He bounced out to start this inning. Kingman popped out to short. Looked like Rooker was settling down. And then the Cubs went crazy. A home run by Martin, a base hit by Ontiveros, a walk by Foote, singles by Dillard, Reuschel, and a double by Vail, and an error for Vail to lead. Ball three. A ball three and a strike one count on Buckner. Oh, don't you love it? Here's the 3-1 pitch. Hits to right field. Shooting caught. Parker with the shades down, drifts back and makes the catch. The ball started to drift on him, but he went back near the warning track, and finally the Pirates are out of it, but not before the Cubs hit him with 5. At the end of 3, it's the Cubs 8, the Pirates 1.
Celebrate with us. Lord & Taylor has opened its 7th fabulous Chicago store at Old Orchard. It's a world of glamour, created for people like you. Glamour to wear in glamorous surroundings. Lord & Taylor, Old Orchard. Discover its pleasures today. Lord & Taylor, just for you.
We go to the Pirate 4th, and here's Johnny Milner to lead it off for Pittsburgh. First pitch is a ball. Come on, Rick. Throw strikes. Just throw strikes, baby. You're up by 7, 8-1. Next pitch swung on, hit to right field and hit deep. Vail going back, way back, way back. Not going to get that one. It's out of here. On to Sheffield. Johnny Milner just jacked it out of here. Home run number 13 for Milner. And that's why you better have a bunch against Pittsburgh. Ordinarily, with an 8-1 lead, you start saying things like, save a few for tomorrow, guys. Nobody's going to say that out here today. Get all you can against Pittsburgh. Johnny Milner leads off the Pirate 4th with a home run onto Sheffield, and here's Madlock. And there's a strike. Bill bounced out to short his first appearance, hitting .316 since joining the Pirates. Next pitch a ball, count even 1-1. Rick working quickly, misses ball 2. Give you some idea how potent this Pirate lineup is. Here's Madlock, a guy that at one time had back-to-back batting titles, batting 6th on this ball club. That misses ball 3. Madlock says he's very happy to be in the company of the hitters he's with. Doesn't mind batting in that slot at all. Swings on the next pitch. Hits it foul into the upper deck. Count is full, 3-2. Bill with 9 homers, 56 RBIs. 3-2 pitch. Inside. Ball 4. So a home run by Milner, and now Madlock reaches with a walk. No need to push the panic button yet, but it's time to start thinking about getting some Pirates out. Yes, it's 8-2, but yes, it's also still very early in the ball game and no time to fool around. Here's Ed Ott. Hits the first pitch back to Reuschel. Should be two to the Jesus. One. Got a double play. That's more like it. One hopper back to Reuschel. Took his time, whirled, fired a strike to the Jesus coming across the bag, and he doubled him up going to Buck. Little more like it. A quick 1-6-3, and that brings up Garner. Takes the ball outside. Garner grounded out his first appearance on a very nice play by Steve Dillard. Hits the next pitch down to Dillard again. Two hoppers. Should be easy. Got his man. In the inning for the Pirates. They pick up one on the home run by Milner, but that's it. We go to the Cubs fourth with the score. Cubs 8, Pirates 2.
General Finance, Bob Adams speaking.
We go to the bottom of the fourth inning. Bill Berg and Vince Lloyd, hoping you're enjoying the ball game. If you're a Cubs fan, you have to be loving it. It's 8-2. As Dave Kingman steps in to start the Cubs fourth. Kingman doubled and drove in his 89th run of the year in the first inning. And then he hit a sky-high pop-up to be retired in the third. He popped out to short. So here's the con facing Joe Coleman in relief of Rooker. Swings in the first pitch, high fly ball, center field. Omar Moreno drifts over, makes the call, and makes the grab. Kingman, first ball hitting. Hits one to medium range center field to Moreno, and we go to Jerry Martin. Martin hit a 1-2 curveball into the seats deep in left field for his 15th home run of the season in the third inning. And if Jerry would like to do an encore performance right here, nobody's going to mind a bit. Facing the right-hander now. Sidearm. Misses. Ball one. On deck, Ontiveros, who's having a good day with a couple of hits. All the Cubs are having a good day. They have 10 hits already. There's a strike, 1-1. Well, score early and score a bunch against the Pirates. That's the best strategy. Swinging a foul out of play. Mike Krukow is slated to work for the Cubs tomorrow. Herman Franks has yet to decide who will go to the mound in the final game of the series. But make no mistake, this is a very important three-game series for the Cubs. Starting today, they trail the Pirates by 4.5. Sidearm, swing and a miss. And the Pirates whip it around the infield as Jerry Martin goes down on strike. Good pitch by Coleman. So Martin has an interesting day. He hit into a weird double play. He hit a home run, and now he strikes out. Here's Ontiveros, batting left-handed for the first time this afternoon. He was, of course, hitting from the right side against the left-handed pitching of Rooker. Now he's on the port side against Coleman. From the left side, Steve hits 274. Takes the first pitch for a ball. 2 out, nobody on, bottom of the fourth inning. Cubs leading here at Wrigley Field over Pittsburgh 8-2. Swung on, hit to the alley, right center field. Omar Moreno cannot get it. It's at the wall. Ontiveros going around second into second, or around first into second easily with a double. Steve Ontiveros drops into second easily with a stand-up double. So he's 3 for 3. Steve was battling a slump, and a bad one, but now he has his stroke back, it would seem. And that's good news. You see Ontiveros flash hitting, and you see Buckner stroking the ball the way he's been hitting it, and a couple of home runs this week on a Martin. That tells you the guys are snapping out. Here's Foote, he takes the ball. Barry was called out on strikes, and he walked and scored in the third inning when the Cubs hit him with 5. Inside again, ball 2. Ball 2, no strike count on Cub catcher Barry Foote. Coleman has his sign. Here's the delivery. Swing and a foul over the Cub dugout, over the little railing and into the Cub dugout, as a matter of fact. And it's 2-1. Cookie Rojas coaching at first, and Joey Amelfatano at third, having just a delightful day so far. Going to have Coach's elbow before this day's out, waving people around. Joey claps those hands, looks down at Foote, says, "Come on, Barry, come on, baby." Wouldn't be the first time somebody ripped one with 2 strikes on him today. Count is even at 2-2, 2 gone. Ontiveros takes a good lead at second. Foote gets back in, levels the bat. Coleman at the belt. 2-2 pitch, sidearm, hit down to third, foul. So we'll try it again. Joe Coleman doesn't like the baseball, wants another one. Wants one that has an out in it for a change. Nice, warm summer day at Wrigley Field. And a very, very happy, large, partisan Cub crowd. Let's hope it stays that way tomorrow, next day, and for the rest of this summer. Here's the pitch. It's a ball throw to second, not in time. Ontiveros back. Ed Ott thought Ontiveros had strayed just a little far and fired one to second baseman Garner, but Steve was back in time. The pitch was a ball. The count is full, 3-2. All the other action in both leagues tonight. 3-2 pitch hit to right field for a base hit. Parker charges it. Ontiveros coming around. Parker bobbles the ball. Foote's going to go to second. Ontiveros comes up the line with another Cub run. Give him a base hit in second base on the air by Parker, trying to charge that base hit, hopefully to make a play at the plate. I doubt seriously, though, that he really had a good shot at getting Ontiveros. So credit Barry Foote with an RBI. Give him second base on the bobble by Parker and Wright. And the Cubs are still alive in the bottom of the 4th inning, and they now lead it by a score of 9-2. Cub hit number 11. First pitch to Dillard is a ball. Steve's 1 for 2. He singled in that big 3rd inning and scored. Next pitch misses. Ball 2. Well, again, here in the 4th inning, the first 2 Cubs went down. Kingman flying out and Martin striking out, but a double off the bat of Ontiveros and a base hit by Foote produces another run. There's a strike. 2-1.
Bill, everybody in that starting lineup, including Reuschel, has at least 1 hit.
That's right.
Team contribution.
The bats are rattling at Wrigley today. 2-1 delivery. Ball 3. Coleman falls behind. 3-1. Rick is in the on-deck circle. Rick's had a good day. Walked and singled so far. 3-1 pitch, ball 4. He's going to go up there again. Well, this is really
be interesting because in the Cub third, the first two Cubs were retired, and then all after 2 outs, they went crazy and scored 5. Now the first two Cubs go down in the fourth inning, and they come up with a double, a single, a walk. 1 run is in, and Reuschel steps in to try and help his own cause again. Swing and a miss. Last time up, Rick ripped a sharp single to right field. Swing and a miss again. Good sidearm fastball from Coleman. Barry Foote is at second. Dillard takes his lead at first. Reuschel trying to stay alive. Down 0-2. Hits one to the right side. Garner fields it. Gets in. That's it for the Cubs. They pick up 1. We go now to the Pirate 5th with the score. The Cubs 9, Pittsburgh 2.
Hi, Pat Summerall. True Value Hardware stores know that a mechanic has different tool needs than a homeowner. He needs more tools because he has more ways to use them. But the homeowner and mechanic both share the need for quality tools, like True Value Hardware Store's exclusive line of Master Mechanic hand tools. For example, the Master Mechanic 6-piece combination wrench set features rugged, drop-forward steel wrenches in sizes from 3/8 to 3/4 of an inch to help with many home and auto repairs. And the Master Mechanic 15-piece drill bit set includes high-speed steel bits sized from 1/16 to 1/2 inch in an indexed steel case, so you can quickly and easily find the right size you need for the job. Get these and other quality Master Mechanic hand tools only at participating True Value Hardware stores. To save gas, you won't have to drive far for your shopping and gift-giving needs. If you're looking for value, service, and selections, you'll find them nearby at any one of the more than 5,000 True Value Hardware stores and home centers nationwide.
Illinois is on parade at the 1979 Illinois State Fair, August 9th through 19th in Springfield. 2 big days of auto racing, harness racing, tractor pulls, and an all-new balloon race. The world's largest livestock exposition and auction of champions. Exhibits with the best in products of Illinois farms. Fun for everyone on the Magic Midway. And every night a parade of cars in the giant grandstand show. See you in Springfield when Illinois is on parade at the 79 Illinois State Fair. It's ball game now, going into the 5th inning at Wrigley Field on a hot, sweltering day. And leading off is going to be the pitcher, Joe Coleman. Thought maybe Tanner might go to a pinch hitter here, but he's going to just let Joe bat for himself. He came in to pitch in the 3rd inning. And the Cubs out in front 9-2. Have outhit them 12-4. Pirates here again tomorrow, and the right-hander, Bert Blyleven, scheduled to go for them against the Cubs. Mike Krukow. Reuschel's first pitch. Coleman's going to take, and it's a strike on the right-hander. Spent a lot of years with the Tigers. In the last few over there, he didn't get a chance to bat. He's also been with the Cubs. There's a curveball up in his eyes, and he swings and misses for strike 2. Reuschel has been busy, not only as a pitcher, fielding his position, but also on the bases. 0-2 pitch. Curveball. Strike 3 call. That takes care of Mr. Coleman. And let's take a moment for station identification. This is the WGN Chicago Cubs Baseball Network.
For a lively conversation, join Bill Berg right after the ball game here on WGN Radio, Chicago.
Omar Moreno, so far today, has lined out to Dillard at second base and flied out to Kingman. He is leading the National League, of course, in stolen bases. And only Ron LaFleur, the Detroit Tigers, has any more than his total of 50 for the year. Reuschel in the windup. Moreno making a bunt, and he takes the first pitch as strike. In the on-deck circle is Tim Foli. He has a couple of hits today. Each team with 1 home run. Gary Martin is second in successive games for the Cubs. Johnny Milner has been on a hot streak. A leadoff homer in the 4th inning for the Pirates. 0-1 delivery. Moreno swings on the change, bounces down to Dillard. He's got it on the hop number 2.
Moreno has kept off the bases again on a routine ground ball. With the bases empty, 2 out, Tim Foli, pair of singles and a run scored, steps in. If you want to purchase tickets by mail to Cub games, merely send a check or a money order for the box seats. Make it out for $6. If you want reserve grandstand, it's $4.50 for each one. There's a swing and a drive to Kingman's left. Dave back to the warning track. Hey, makes the catch. Set that glove up in the air at the last moment. And Jack Evan, he is called and has a boarding house reach. Foley put a good charge in it, but the side is retired. 1-2-3. We're now going into the bottom of inning number 5 at Wrigley Field with the Cubs still enjoying a 9-2 lead.
Ever notice how kids rush outdoors on a nice day? It's sort of an outward explosion that snaps your storm door with a whack. Then the wind catches the door and socks it back again, twisting it at every joint. When those joints give and the door starts to sag, there's nothing you can do. Until now, storm doors were made of strips and panels fastened together with seams at every corner. But there's a new door now, the Buckman door. Built from a single solid board, laminated with heavy seamless aluminum. A one-piece door with no corner joints or seams to loosen, so the door never sags or sticks. If you had it with ordinary storm doors, neighbor, check out the kid-proof, dog-proof, wind-proof storm door by Buckman. Built to work, built to last. Sold by the Buckman Company, Mount Prospect, Lombard, and a new store near Old Orchard. See the yellow pages.
McDonald's now presents Nanook and his rendition of an Eskimo folk song.
McDonald's Arctic Orange.
Roughly translated, Nanook has described Arctic orange shakes as a frosty treat, available at participating Chicagoland McDonald's now through August 26th.
If I may finish, a word here about how you order tickets for ball games here. Send your check or your money order to the ticket office at Wrigley Field, and the zip code is 60613. Add 50 cents for postage and handling, and do not send cash. Ivan De Jesus, who has 2 of the Cubs' 12 hits today and has batted in a fair run, steps in. He has 2 doubles. 2 for 3. Mike Vail in the on-deck circle. Coleman in relief, the right-hander. His first pitch, a fastball missed in too close at the letters. Coleman was greeted with 2 singles and a double when he came on in relief of Rooker, and he missed with that one. 2-0. Let's see if Ivan will go after this one. Right-hander fires. There's a strike, a fastball. 2-1. Young Andy Frayne ushering Chief up here in the first box. Steve Zwick. Here's a swing and a bouncing ball. Back out to his left. Can't get to it. Neither can Foley. It's into left field. Now the ball dropped by Milner. De Jesus going into second. He arrives safe. Pirate outfielders having some problems here today. A single for Ivan. An error against Johnny Milner. The Pirates' 3rd boot of the day. A runner in scoring position for Vail. He reached on a single, on an error, and he's batted in a run. Sidearm curve, and he takes it outside of the knees. Neither can Foley. It's into left field. Now the ball dropped by Milner. De Jesus going into second. He arrives safe. Pirate outfielders having some problems here today. A single for Ivan. An error against Johnny Milner. The Pirates' 3rd boot of the day. A runner in scoring position for Vail. He reached on a single, on an error, and he's batted in a run. Sidearm curve, and he takes it outside of the knees. Steve Zwick's mother, Mary Jean, out here. Daughter Mary Lou and Joe Swick. 1-0 delivery. There's a ball outside. Young Steve, a handsome fellow, very, very busy with his ushering duties here at the press box, but also keeps a watchful eye on Mom below. Dace's pretty good lead. Coleman's pitch. Fastball to Vail, outside at the knees. He's fallen behind, 3-0. Let's see whether or not might be given the green light here. Studying carefully is Malpatano, coaching at third. Relays Herman Franks signed to him. In the on-deck circle is Bill Buckner. 3-0 pitch. He takes. That's ball 4. So the Cubs have runners at first and second with nobody out. And even though they have a 7-run lead, it wouldn't hurt to get a few more against this Pirate crew, and especially with that wind blowing out. That's a second walk issued by Coleman. Buckner singled in the first inning, grounded out in the third, and he also hit a drive deep in the third inning to retire the side. It just missed going out of here. Parker grabbed it. So Buck is 1 for 3. His hard shot was off of Coleman. First pitch to him. Breaking ball. Cut the outside corner for a strike. With that single, his first time up today, Buckner extended his hitting streak to 6 straight. And has batted in 11 runs now in those 6 games. I'm sorry, 6 runs with 11 hits. 0-1 delivery. Swung out, a drive in the left center field. It's going to be in for extra bases. Here comes the Aces to the plate with the 10th run. There goes Buckner to second. Here comes Vail to the plate. The relay throw bounces in. Too late. Buckner goes to third. He slides, and Madlock tags him for the out. And then tags him with the glove with the ball in it 2 or 3 more times on the arm. Let's hope he's all right. He's getting up rather slowly. He gambled and lost on that one, but he has a double with 2 runs batted in. His 54th and 55th of the year. And as he gets up with that muddied uniform after that hit for a slide, the appreciative fans giving Buckner a big hand. So the bases are empty for Dave Kingman. 11-2. Coleman's pitch is up too high. Ball 1 today. He doubled and drove in a run, scored on a wild pitch all in the first inning, and he's 1 for 3. Side-out pitch, hammered into left field, a base hit. Milner playing very, very deep. Gathers it in as Dave just jogs down the line, content with a single. His second hit today. The Cubs beating a tattoo on Coleman, just as they did on Rooker. 15 Cub hits here today.
Looks like Tanner's going to let him just stay out there, too. He's seen it up.
Nobody throwing in the Pirate bullpen. Gary Martin homered in the third. 1 for 3, and look out. Foul ball, struck off his bat as he was crowded with it.
This is where a pitcher has to feel very lonely.
Yeah.
He's getting bombed. It's going from bad to worse. He has to feel he may be out there till sometime Thursday.
Probably seems like that already. Dave Kingman on at first base with 1 out. Is it pitch? Fastball up in the eyes. Martin got under it and fouled it back out of play. Gary had homered in the second game here Sunday against the Cards and got his 15th of the year. In the third inning today, after the first 2 men had been retired. Before the Pirates got the last out, Cubs had put 5 runs on the board in that inning. Coleman's pitch, swung on, he jammed him with it. And that is strike 3. So Martin becomes the second strikeout victim of Coleman today. Both times it's been Jerry. The homer that Jerry got was off Rooker. Here's Steve Ontiveros, who has come out of his slump with a flourish, a pair of singles, and a double. So he has 3 of the Cubs' 15 hits. How about a 4 for 4 days? Coleman ready. The right-hander is first one, and Steve takes inside. Ball 1. He's batting left-handed. 1-0 pitch. Way in too close with a fastball. May have grazed him. It did. Grazed his uniform. So Kingman advances to second base as Ontiveros, hit by the pitch, goes down to first. That sets the stage for Barry Foote. He has a single, batted in a run, has walked, and scored a run. He's officially 1 for 2 today. Let's make a correction on the probable pitching assignments for the Pirates. Tomorrow they say it's going to be Jim Bibby, not Blyleven. There's a pitch swung on and fouled back up onto the screen. And John Candelaria, who pitched a superb ball game over the weekend against the Phillies and got a victory. Candelaria is scheduled now to pitch against the Cubs on Thursday, the final day of this portion of the homestand. Strike 1 count on Barry. There's a swing and a ground ball. Madlock dives, knocks it down, but finally picks it up, and he throws to first base. Barry, not gunning very hard and not fast to begin with, is still retired by Madlock after he really had to scramble on that one. And Herman Frank's out here, and the talk fest with plate umpire Ed Montague. So the Cubs, in the 5th inning, settled for 2 runs. And we now go into the 6th inning at Wrigley Field, with the Cubs leading 11-2.
Frankly speaking, there's a myth going around that you must sacrifice driving comfort, not to mention luxury, in the interest of fuel economy. Your gallant men of old would like to respond to that myth with one word: baloney. You see, in terms of actual dollars and cents, and I mean S-E-N-S-E, the stylish, comfortable, beautifully crafted and engineered Oldsmobiles have an average annual fuel cost as good as or better than a lot of those sub-compacts you have to squeeze in and out of every day. For instance, a Cutlass Supreme has an average annual fuel cost which is $32 less than the Toyota Celica GT. Now maybe you're saying baloney. Well, the facts are all in the most recent edition of the EPA Gas Mileage Guide at your Chicagoland Oldsmobile dealer. The Cutlass estimated MPG is 19. Use this number for comparisons. The actual mileage you get may be different. Your gallant men of olds want to make car buying a pleasure for you, even now.
When you can't be at the game, let Sports Phone tell you the score. Just call area code 312-936-1313 anytime, day or night, for up-to-the-minute sports scores. All the pro, college, even high school action. And we update our reports about 40 times a day to give you early sports news and late trades. So call 312-936-1313 right now. Your phone knows the score.
This is Sports Phone. Let's go to Les Grobstein for a live...
Sports Phone is a service of Illinois Bell. Charge for call to downtown Chicago applies.
Rick Reuschel out on the hill has finished his warm-up tosses, and he'll be facing, as the Pirates come to bat in the 6th inning, the 3, 4, and 5 men in their batting order. That means Dave Parker, Willie Stargell, and Johnny Milner. Of those 3, he has handled Stargell by striking him out twice today. Herman Franks had quite a lengthy discussion between innings here with plate umpire Ed Montague. Did not seem to be all that serious. Matter of fact, when they finally concluded it, both Montague and Herman were smiling. Parker walked in the 1st inning, then tripled and drove in a run in the 3rd. The big left-hander sits safely in 13 out of 14 ball games. Rick's first pitch to him, and he takes the ball low. Reuschel has been superb, has allowed only 4 hits. Fastball swung on, a drive into center field. Barton coming on, it's in front of him, knocks it down. Buckner makes the turn and holds with a single. A line shot into straightaway center field. That's hit number 5 for the Pirates. Here's Willie Stargell, who has fanned twice today. Cubs out in front, 11-2. Here's a stretch in the pitch. Fastball outside. Cerebral Palsy Building Fund is going to be headed by, here's the delivery. That's the ball outside. By a benefit softball game. This is an annual affair. It's going to be taking place Thursday night. Between the north side, Usherettes, and the south side, Usherettes. One game check swing. Ball hits Stargell's bat and goes foul out of play. Back on the line to the plate in first base. And then the Andy Frayne ushers against the Bill Beck All-Stars. Yeah, they're coming up with the Cub pitcher. There's a swing and a well-aimed drive. Left field. Kingman coming over. Reaches out and he grabs it. Beautiful catch by Kingman. Racing towards the foul line to his right. Stayed with it. Was gunning hard all the way and made a two-handed catch right at the knees. And he has robbed Stargell of an extra base hit. Parker gets back to first base. There's one out. Here's Johnny Milner. Out on a fine play between Buckner and Reuschel, and then homered leading off the fourth. Softball games are going to be taking place Thursday evening. First game at 7:30. There's a swing and a base hit into right field. Parker will settle for a one-base advance as Milner pulls a single to right, and the heat may be getting to Reuschel. With one out, the batter is going to be Madlock. Grounded out and walked, then was rubbed out in the front end of a double play. Dillon Stadium has been donated free of charge for the Cerebral Palsy Building Fund doubleheader softball game Thursday night. They do ask for a $2 donation from you. That's not too much to ask for, is it? To help Cerebral Palsy. Madlock takes, and Reuschel's first pitch is a fastball to the right-hander. Just missed outside. Pirate runners at first and second with one away. Curveball swung on, hits it down to Ontiveros, off his chest, picks it up, looks, tags. Parker has no other play. What might have been a double play had Steve been able to come up with it cleanly. But he made the pickup on the ball. Parker coming behind from second was an easy out. So they have runners at first and second with two gone. Fielder's choice for Madlock. And that brings up the catcher, Ed Ott. He hit into the double play in the fourth and was out on a fine play. Steve Dillard backing up Buckner. When Ott came to bat in the second inning, got hold of the ball, and Reuschel doing his job, and he fields his position superbly, came over to take the throw in time for the out. So Ed Ott is 0 for 2 today. Runners at first and second, two away, and he takes the curve. It just misses outside. They have a half a dozen hits. The Cubs have 15. Each team with one homer. The Cubs enjoying an 11-2 lead. Reuschel delivers. 1-0 pitch is a strike call. Took a little off the breaking ball. Ott taking all the way. Now we get a left-hander throwing in the Pirate bullpen. Phil Garner in the on-deck circle, the eighth man in the batting order. 1-1 delivery. The fastball that just missed. It's ball 2, strike 1. Pirates with a 5-game winning streak. They swept the Phillies at home over the weekend, while the Cubs were taking 3 out of 4 from the St. Louis Cardinals. Single game here again tomorrow and on Thursday. 2-1 delivery, 2 on, 2 up. Ball outside, he wouldn't chase it. 3-1. Now look out. Rick has been on base a couple of times today, and on one of those occasions he had to do some hard running, and he's been involved in 2 fine fielding plays. 3-1 pitch. Ott swings, ground ball. Dillard coming in, should retire the side. He's got it. That's it for the Pirates in the top of the 6th inning. And the Cubs come to bat at Wrigley Field, leading 11-2.
In God's country, we value tradition. You see it everywhere, especially in our beer. Heileman's Old Style is one American premium beer that is still brewed the traditional Old World way, the way the great European beers have been brewed for centuries. Generations of brewmasters have passed down this brewing art that, to this day, is called poisoning. It's double brewing, pure brewing, and it's the most natural way to brew beer and the most expensive. Right now, millions of gallons of Old Style are quietly resting in our poisoning cellars, aging ever so slowly, the traditional way, the Old World way. No artificial carbonation, no modern shortcuts, just nature and time and skill. Heileman's Old Style, pure brewed in God's country, slowly and naturally. G. Heileman Brewing Company, La Crosse, Wisconsin.
You can increase the odds of growing a healthy green lawn this summer by providing more even water coverage. Hi, Pat Summerall to suggest you get the Nelson Dial-A-Rain Oscillating Sprinkler from True Value Hardware Stores. Its unique, heart-shaped cam provides even coverage up to 3,000 square feet without overwatering or puddling. And you can dial any of 20 settings to match the size and shape of your lawn. Get the Nelson Dial-A-Rain Oscillating Sprinkler at participating True Value Hardware Stores and home centers. And tell them Pat Summerall sent you.
Hey, here's your chance to take home a souvenir that you'll really treasure. Close-up photographs of your favorite Cub players, and you take them yourself from right out on the field. Camera Day, August 15th. Fans are going to be allowed out at the field before the game to take pictures of your favorite Cub players. So be sure, bring your camera, come on early. That's Wednesday, August the 15th, for Camera Day. Then afterwards, the Cubs go against the San Francisco Giants. Steve Dillard, 1 for 2 officially. Singled, scored, and drove in a run today. Coleman winds. There's a swing, and he's out in front. Lines and foul. And the young guy down the left field line missed the barehanded catch, but he stayed with it, grabbed the souvenir. Dillard has moved Sizemore out of the second base job, at least for a while. Right-handed hitter. Came up as a shortstop with the Red Sox. 0-1 pitch. Swings, a little pop-up on a change. Garner out on the outfield grass. Boy, we saw a lot of that baseball as he got the ball in the webbing. With a tough play for Garner, you're playing the wind, you're playing the sun. He had to get his sunglasses down in a hurry, then reached up with the glove in front of his face. Got it in the pocket of the glove for the out. Here's Rick Reuschel getting a fine hand and a well-deserved one. It's a steamy, hot day. And he has shackled the Pirates so far. 2 runs, 6 hits. He has 1 hit himself, and he scored a run. He swings, and a well-hit drive, center field. Moreno back, he's got room. He grabs it one-handed. 2 gone. DeJesus will take a lot of time now to let Reuschel jog back into the dugout and get out of that hot sun. See a lot of kids out here today, and that's particularly satisfying. And a lot of times they're out here with their dads, sometimes with Mom. But I think it's awfully a big special thrill for a young kid to be able to come out to a ball game with his dad. Get to see their favorite Cubs in person, of course. Maybe get a foul ball hit up into the stands. But the best thing of all about it, it's a chance for you and your son or sons to get together. Share an afternoon of baseball right out here at Wrigley Field. It's an event that they'll never forget. It'll be a big day in their lives. Why don't you plan to do it soon? First pitch to him on, a ball too high. Look at it. He's almost hit by Coleman's next one. Twisted out of the way just at the last moment. It's 2-0 on him. You know, youngsters 13 and under pay only $1.50 for general admission. Tall Joe Coleman delivers. DeJesus takes a fastball for a strike. 2-1. And unreserved seats, of course, go on sale out here at Wrigley Field the morning of every Cub home game. Ball 2, strike one. Here it is. Takes a slider, and it misses outside. It's 3-1 now on Ivan. He's batted in 2 runs today and has 3 hits, a pair of doubles, and a single. Has scored 2 runs. 3-1 delivery. Takes ball 4. He is on for the 4th time today. The Cubs not only have 15 hits, 5 Cubs have reached on walks today, and the Pirates have committed 3 errors. 1 by the shortstop Foley, 1 by Parker, 1 by Milner. And here is Mike Vail with a single, a walk, a run batted in, and 2 runs scored, and Mike takes in Coleman's low ball 1. Everybody in the starting lineup, including Reuschel, has at least 1 hit. Ontiveros and DeJesus each has 3. Buckner and DeJesus have batted in 2 runs apiece. 1-0 pitch. That's the ball too high. Matter of fact, everybody except Ontiveros and Reuschel has batted in at least 1 run today. You didn't know that, Barney Sterling? 2-0 pitch. Goes after it, fouls it out of play to the right side. Barney, the Cubs official team photographer, and they've just come out with a brand new team picture, including all the newcomers to the Cubs, and it is a dandy. Here at Wrigley Field, you can buy it for just $1. If you send for it, it's only $1.50. Well worth it. 2-1 pitch. Fastball in the fist and foul, back out of play. 2-2 count with 2 out. DeJesus at first base. Cubs leading 11-2. Don't send the money to me if you're ordering by mail, because you can then forget about it. Send your check or money order to the team picture, Chicago Cubs, Wrigley Field, Chicago. Team picture. Don't send cash. Send a check or a money order. 2-2 delivery coming up. Coleman wants another sign from Ed Ott. Vince Lloyd here with you. We hope you're enjoying the broadcast. Jack Minovich, our producer. Don Albert, our engineer. Cubs freezing so far. Here's a swing, and he throws a high fly ball. Parker, the right fielder, moving to his right, grabs it in front of the warning track, and the side is retired. Remarkable thing so far here today, with that strong wind blowing out. Each team has only 1 homer. And at the end of 6 innings of play, the Pirates come to bat against Reuschel, with the Cubs still leading 11-2.
General Finance Bob Adams speaking.
Mr. Friendly Bob?
Yes. Who's this?
Mary.
Hello, Mary. What can I do for you?
You can tell me if there's such a thing as fun loans.
How's that again?
Loans for fun. I mean, I don't have any problems like bills or anything.
Well, good.
My problem is fun. I haven't done anything interesting in years.
Were you thinking of something in the line of a trip, some travel?
Oh, trip or travel would be fun.
Lots of fun.
Maybe I'd even meet someone.
Could meet someone, yes.
Someone like you?
Well, I don't know exactly, Mary.
Someone friendly? Maybe a Bob?
Well, maybe. Mary, where would you like to go?
Oh, anywhere. I'll meet you on a plane, a boat, a bridge. Tell me.
No, you see, I didn't mean that.
But
Mary.
I thought you could get a little help from a friend at General Finance.
Well, Mary, that's just a matter of speaking. You see, by help we mean loans.
But, Bob, I'll pay for everything.
70 Chicago area offices, including Calumet City. Borrow up to $10,000 or for a large homeowner's loan, call Andover 32020.
Nobody can do it like McDonald's can. That's not a boast, it's a promise. And now, through August 26th, at participating McDonald's, we're backing that promise with a special guarantee. If your first bite tells you the food isn't hot, we'll replace it. If there's an available table, it will be cleaned for you, or the meal's on us. And we'll thank you for your purchase, or we'll pay the bill. Hot food, clean tables, friendly service. Nobody can do it like McDonald's can. That's our guarantee.
Before the Pirates come to bat in the 7th inning, Phil Garner to lead off, then we'll look for a pinch hitter. Well, we better wait a moment. Reuschel's going to deliver, and Garner swings, gets one off the fist, rolls it out to DeJesus. Should be an easy out. He has got him. There's one away on 1 pitch. Let's pause now for station identification. This is the WGN Chicago Cubs Baseball Network.
Join Milt Rosenberg for Extension 720, heard Tuesday through Friday beginning at 9 here on WGN Radio Chicago.
We are not going to have a pinch hitter. Joe Coleman's going to bat for himself again with the bases empty. He led off the 5th inning as a hitter. So the Pirate bench is being saved here so far. First pitch to him is a strike. Reuschel has struck out 3, walked only 2, kicks, delivers. Coleman takes a fastball, strike right at the letters, nothing and 2 on him. 0-2 delivery. There is strike 3 call. Fanned in for the second time today. Among the special groups here, the Wendy's Athletic Association. Baseball, basketball. They play it, they support it. Johnny Whiting, their baseball coach. Darrell Brazel, their basketball coach. Got a big group of them out here again today. One guy who couldn't make it is their outstanding second baseman, Dave Young. He had to work. Leads him in hitting and runs batted in. There's a swing by Moreno. Ground ball. Dillard to his right. He's got it. Throws over to first base. And Moreno, for the 4th time today, has kept up the bases. Disgustedly flings that bright yellow helmet up in the air. Dillard showing great range. Had to go far to his right. So it's 3 up, 3 down in the 7th inning. And time for the standing room only crowd at Wrigley Field to get on its feet for the stretch. And the Cubs out in front of the Pirates 11-2.
Hi, this is Barbara Mandry. Something is wrong. I don't feel right. There's still a lot of it. It's an adventure. Loving you is wrong. I don't want to be right. I don't want to be right. It's me living without you.
Give your car the long life protection of an original Pierce Builders garage. Quality garage at a price you can afford. The original Pierce Builders have satisfied over 15,000 customers since 1959 and offer 4 garage parks throughout Chicagoland. North in Des Plaines, south in Calumet City, northwest in Elmhurst, and in Maryville, Indiana. See their ad in Wednesday's Sun Times and the Yellow Pages or call 530-1900 for a free estimate.
Standing room only at Wrigley Field. Let me tell you, it's a happy crowd today. Cubs have dominated it. Bill Buckner leading off, and the first pitch to the left-hander is a strike. Buck with 2 hits, 2 runs batted in. Single and a double. 2 for 4. And 12 hits in his last 24 trips to the plate. Not bad, huh? Coleman's next one. Swung on a miss. Nothing in 2. The Pirates, known for their great offense, have been overshadowed by that of the Cubs today. The Cubs have out-hit them 15-6. And everybody in the starting lineup has contributed to that Cub offense. Buck, on that one, it gets away from the catcher, Ed Ott. Finally retrieves it over near Rick Ferrara, the Andy Frayne ushering chief in front of extra baseballs. And Buckner standing down at first base. A strikeout for Joe Coleman. That one dipped sharply into the dirt in front of the plate. Buckner, swiping swing, missed. But Ott couldn't hold on to it as it came off that dirt. Wild pitch charge against Coleman. Rooker had 2 of them against him. And King Kong, Dave Kingman stepping in. The double and a single and a run batted in today. One out, deep drive, left field. But it's back, Milner. Grabbed it in front of the warning track. For just a moment, it looked like Dave, who really did not have a full cut at it, might have hit it. Buckner waving out there to Milner. Just leave those alone. But it failed to go out. First out in the top of the 7th inning. And that will bring up Jerry Martin, who homered here on Sunday, and he belted his 15th of the year here today. He is 1 for 4. Joe Coleman came out in the third. He's been out there a long time. Delivers a breaking ball. Martin takes it low, ball one. Doug Capella, the newest member of the Cubs, the left-hander up from Wichita, and rookie Bill Caudle are throwing in the Cub bullpen. 1-0 delivery. There's a strike. Ball one, strike one. Buckner on at first base, even though he struck out. A wild pitch on it. 1-1 pitch. Takes a cut. Jerry hits a high foul. It's into the box seats behind first base. Ball one, strike two, and the Cubs center fielder. Vince Lloyd and Lou Boudreau here with you. The Cubs enjoying a 9-run lead. Coleman delivers. Sidearm pitch swung on. Bouncing ball off the glove of Madlock. Goes into left field. Buckner rounding second. He's going to go to third. Here's Martin taking for second. He slides. He is in there. Gambling bit of base running by Jerry Martin. A double for Jerry on a ball that was deflected just briefly by Bill Madlock at third. The first hit in the inning, but runners at second and third with one out. Hit number 9 off of Joe Coleman. And Steve Ontiveros, 2 singles and a double so far today. Also reached on a wild pitch. A perfect afternoon for Ontiveros so far as he's come out of that slump. Takes, and there the ball outside at the letters. Buckner, Martin, Ontiveros, all battling slumps. They have come out of it. 1-0 pitch. Gets under it. It's a high foul. It's back out of play. The pitching possibilities now for the remaining 2 games of this series. Tomorrow, for the Cubs, Lynn McLaughlin, Jim Bibby for the Pirates. Thursday, Dennis Lamp for the Cubs against John Candelaria for the Pirates. 1-1 delivery. Takes the fastball high. Ball 2, strike 1. Garner in about halfway on the right side of that infield. Foley in a bit on the left. And Coleman, who came out of the third inning in relief of Rooker, into the stretch with a 2-1 pitch. Swung on and a fly ball to Milner in left field. Buckner going back to tag up. Milner makes the catch. Wheels the throw into the plate. Here comes Buckner. He scores. Martin holds at second base. And the Cubs now have a 12-2 lead. As Steve Ontiveros drives in his 39th run of the year. And everybody in the Cubs starting lineup today, except Rick Reuschel, has batted in at least 1 run. Everybody. And Reuschel has one of the Cubs' 16 hits today. Everybody else has at least 1. The Aces 3. Ontiveros 3. Steve with a perfect day. That's a sacrifice fly. Perfect so far. Buckner, who had struck out, reached when the pitch was into the dirt, got by Ed Ott, has tallied. Martin at second. Barry Foote takes the fastball for a strike. Cubs leading 12-2. 7th inning. Coleman delivers. Swing by Barry, and he fouls it back up onto the net behind the plate. It's 0-2. Barry's been on twice today with a walk and a single, and he's batted in a run, his 31st of the year. Out of all those 16 Cub hits, there's only 1 homer by Jerry Martin, but a flock of doubles. 0-2 delivery. Goes after a high fastball and fouls it back under the net. Still 0-2. The Montreal Expos open a key series at Philadelphia tonight. In the Western Division, Houston on the road They play the Dodgers tonight at Los Angeles, while Cincinnati is home to the Atlanta Braves. 0-2 pitch. Barry swings, drives one down the left field line. He is out in front and hits it foul into the box seats. 0-2. The team this year. They've won 30 away for Pittsburgh. Lost only 21. But ever since the All-Star break, they have enjoyed a long homestand with the exception of one weekend excursion up to Montreal. But they were successful there against the Expos. 2 out, 0-2 pitch. Came way inside. Crazy bat, he couldn't get it out of the way. Barry starting today, hitting .236. A win, of course, would not only aid the Cubs' drive to get back to the top in the Eastern Division, but it would also be warmly welcomed by the Montreal Expos. 0-2 pitch, missed inside at the knees. It's 1-2. Montreal with 61 victories. The Pirates have 63. The Cubs today are shooting for their 58th. Pirates with 2 more wins than Montreal, but have suffered 1 more defeat than the Expos. 1-2 pitch. Swung on, a curve down around the knees, bounces it foul. Nice catch made by a young guy right at the home plate end of the Cub dugout. So the Montreal Expos hoping to regain first place in the Eastern Division. You can bet they're rooting for the Cubs for a victory here today. And tomorrow and the next day. 1-2 pitch. Swung on. Ground ball. Foley charges in at shortstop. Makes the pickup. Takes a couple of steps back over to first base. And the Cubs in the 7th inning are retired, but not before they pick up a run. The Pirates come to bat at the end of 7 with the Cubs leading 12-2.
If you're a do-it-yourselfer who takes pride in your work, you know how important it is to use good quality tools like Master Mechanic hand tools and accessories from True Value hardware stores. Hi, Pat Summerall to tell you Master Mechanic tools are American-made of the finest tool steel for precision workmanship and superior strength. And each is backed by a lifetime customer satisfaction policy. You can get a Master Mechanic 8-piece screwdriver set for just $4.95 from True Value hardware stores. The set features round blades of chrome vanadium steel, and it includes 6 regular tips and 2 Phillips tips with shock-proof, unbreakable handles. Or get a Master Mechanic 7 1/4-inch combination ripped circular saw blade for just $2.75. See the complete selection and the complete line of Master Mechanic tools sold only at participating True Value hardware stores and home centers. And save gas. You won't have to drive far for your hardware and houseware needs if you're looking for value, service, and selection. You'll find them nearby at any one of the more than 5,000 True Value hardware stores and home centers nationwide.
The branding iron is a relaxed, come-as-you-are restaurant and very pleasant. And those hickory ribs are delicious. Lean baby back ribs slowly smoked for hours with a special barbecue sauce, ready for your fork or fingers. So top up off those ribs with a fudge largo, sensational dessert. Fudge and walnut chunks served on a cinnamon graham cracker base and topped with whipped cream. There are 2 branding iron restaurants, 4200 West 95th Street in Oak Lawn and 3131 South Finley Road, Downers Grove, 1 mile west of the Yorktown Shopping Center. Open 7 days a week.
Four changes for the Cubs now as Pittsburgh comes to bat in the 8th inning. Larry Bittner in at first base, relieving Buckner. Scott Thompson in right field, replacing Vail. Ken Henderson in left field, replacing Kingman. Mick Kelleher at third base, replacing Ontiveros. And Rick Reuschel, who has 1 victory, a shutout over the Pirates this year, going after win number 2 over the Bucks, and his 11th win of the season. And has had matters well in hand so far. He's to face Tim Foli to lead off. then Dave Parker, and Willie Stargell. Foley has been one of the more troublesome Pirates for Reuschel today. He has a pair of hits, both singles, and he scored a run. Parker has a single and a triple. And he's also reached on a walk. Parker in the on-deck circle having a perfect day. First pitch. Foley takes the ball in too close to the right-hander. Rick kicks, delivers, fastball, one hopper to Dillard's right. He's got it. Steve straightens up, takes over to Bittner. Foley is retired on the second pitch in the 8th inning. That will bring up Parker. They tallied a run in the 3rd inning on Foley's 2-out single and Parker's triple. In the 4th inning, Milner got his 13th home run of the year. He hit that one leading off. Stargell moving into the on-deck circle. Reuschel kicks. Here's the big guy's first pitch swung on, and he lets a mile-high pop-up. Coming over are Henderson and Martin overruns it. Leaps at the last moment. It drops on the grass behind him. Retrieved by Henderson, and Parker is on at second base. Just to win at the last moment, and Martin went up in the air like he was going to stuff a basketball as he tried to recover. He said, "Ah, shucks," as it dropped out of his reach behind him. A Gary charge with the Cubs' first error of the ball game. How many games, Lou, do you see where outfielders have a total we have so far today of 3 errors, huh?
Yeah, not very often.
That brings up Stargell, who's fanned twice and lined hard to left field when Kingman is out there. There's a swing and a drive into left field coming on Henderson, and he drops the ball as he went to his knees. Parker goes to third base on it. Henderson coming in for that sinking liner. Slid down at the seat of his pants, and he couldn't hold on to the ball. Had it in the glove, right at his midsection, and scrambled for a few moments on all fours, and suddenly we've got a little bit of a comedy going on here.
He thought the ball was going to sink because he didn't have to dive after the ball. It was about belt high.
Runners at first and third. Haven't heard any official pronouncement on it, but I have to assume that's an error. Finally decide, yes, that's what it is. So here's Milner, who homered, and he goes after a curve down the way, and he fouls it out of play to the right side. So 2 errors by Cub outfielders here in this inning, matching the 2 by Pirate outfielders, Parker and Milner.
Only one thing to do is strike him out.
Might as well, or a double play. Milner, a homer and a single so far today. Here's the pitch. Left-hander takes the ball a little low. They have not yet announced the attendance here today, but it's been standing room. The temperature in the 90s or higher, and probably closer to 100 on that field. And Reuschel has been superb. Gone all the way. This is his 24th start of the season.
That's kind of a day. Yeah. Been a lot of base runners, a lot of hits, a lot of errors going on.
Here's Bill Madlock. Takes the fastball, then too tight above the knees. Ball 1. Bill reached on a walk and was rubbed out on the front end of a double play. He is 0 for 2 officially today against Reuschel, his old teammate. Runners in the corners with 2 gone, a 1-0 pitch. Gee, that just missed.
I'm surprised Reuschel holding such good stuff this far in the ball game with this heat. And he's been on base a couple times.
Yeah, and he made one time when he was on, he had to really run, and he's made 2 good fielding plays coming off that mound. 2-0 pitch. Fastball. There's a strike at the letters.
Got a good fastball.
Well, he relaxed yesterday. Here's a stretch. The 2-1 delivery to Madlock. Swung on, hits one to Bittner at first base. He's got it. He feeds Reuschel coming off the hill in a hurry. And Madlock is wiped out, and so are the Pirates in the 8th inning. And we go to the bottom of the eighth, with the Cubs still leading in this baseball game by a score of 12-2.
Morning.
Welcome to McDonald's.
You probably don't recognize me without the hang gliding outfit.
Oh, you're the one.
I'm wearing a wetsuit.
Yeah.
I'm going to make the most of my morning.
That's why you're here.
Starting here at McDonald's, and then I'm going diving.
Splash.
Or maybe gliding. Of course, I could jog, but that wouldn't be easy with slippers.
Enjoy your morning and still have time for fresh grade A scrambled eggs with sausage and hash browns.
A delicious breakfast, a few sets of tennis, and then...
Wimbledon.
Well, actually, I thought I'd drop by the office, say hi to the boss, and preserve my job. That would be important.
Nobody can do it like McDonald's can. Make the most of your morning.
McDonald's now presents Nanook and his rendition of an Eskimo folk song.
Ikinawa ike artik une kinojo. Oka artik opak nolo niglik toko he. Ikinawa shoshononi kune artik orange. McDonald's oku niglik chok. Ikinawa pangeke kune artik orange.
Roughly translated, Nanook has described Arctic orange shakes as a frosty treat, available at participating Chicagoland McDonald's now through August 26th.
Celebrate with us. Lord & Taylor has opened its 7th fabulous Chicago store at Old Orchard. It's a world of glamour, created for people like you. Glamour to wear in glamorous surroundings. Lord & Taylor, Old Orchard. Discover its pleasures today.
Lord & Taylor, just for you.
Steve Dillard is going to be leading off as the Cubs come to bat in the eighth. Gone on twice with a single and a walk. He's batted in a run. The only thing that Reuschel has not yet done to contribute to this seeming Cub victory today is bat in a run. He's gone on twice with a walk and a single, and he scored a run. Dillard, first pitch to him, a strike. Reuschel has not yet come out into the on-deck circle. When he does, he can stand in the shade. There he is. And the 0-1 pitch to Dillard. Swung on, and a curve missed for strike two. Danner, twice today, has let Coleman bat. Once with one on, nobody out. Once leading off an inning after the Cubs had a pretty good lead. Almost like Danner's wanting to concede it. Here's a swing and a little looper into left field. That's in there for a base hit. Dillard makes a turn. The ball is retrieved in shallow left center field by Moreno. And Dillard has his second hit of the day to lead off the eighth. That'll bring up Reuschel. He is getting a standing ovation, at least from the crowd down here on the third base side and first base side. And the bleachers are standing for Reuschel. And a few of the fans up in the upper deck. He has allowed only 6 hits and is leading 12-2. First pitch to him, and a big guy takes Coleman, misses low and away. Ball one. Tomorrow is to be McLaughlin for the Cubs, and Dennis Lamp will finish up the homestand Thursday. That pitch a ball too high with Jim Bibby tomorrow and John Candelaria on Thursday. Then we'll be at St. Louis for 5 games, including a doubleheader Sunday. 2-0 pitch. Good swing, but he got under it and popped that foul back out of play. Two-one delivery. Swung on, and he curls a high one into shallow right field. Parker coming in, Garner out. Neither one will get it. It drops in there for a base hit, and Dillard winds up at second on a high Texas leaguer, about 75 feet behind first base. There was a little indecision between Parker and Garner, and if you are Garner, you know darn well you don't want to collide with Dave Parker. So Reuschel with his second hit of the day. A cheap one, but he'll be glad to have it. Now, of course, he has to stand out in that hot sun. But it'll be nice if we could get him off there as quickly as possible. I'd like to see him finish up. Woody Hernandez is throwing in the Cub bullpen. We are in the bottom of the eighth. That for the Cubs, their 18th hit of the day. Dace is swinging and missing on the first one for a strike. 2 here in this inning off Coleman 11 off Joe since he came on in relief in the third. Jesus has 3 hits, batted in 2 runs. In the on-deck circle, Scott Thompson will be stepping in for the first time today. Here's the delivery. Bond takes it high. Vail left with 1 hit, a walk, batted in a run, and it scored a pair today. So he contributed also. Veteran Joe Coleman getting his sign. 1-1 pitch. Slaps a foul ball back into the net. It's been all Cubs today. They jumped out in front with 3 runs in the very first inning. First 4 Cubs reached. A double by De Jesus. A single by Vail, bringing in Ivan. A single by Buckner, sending Vail to third. A double by Kingman, driving in Vail. And they had a double play, a rundown. But before the inning was over, Kingman scored on a wild pitch. Here's a swing and a double play ball to the second baseman. And a peck over to Foley. The relay back to first base. Bond sprinting as hard as he possibly can. Going over to third is Dillard. They just missed the double play ball. Garner to Foley to Stargell. The runners at first and third, and here is Scott Thompson stepping in for the first time today. Thompson hitting .351 in this his rookie season. 68 base hits, 9 doubles. 9 runs batted in. Tall, slender left-hander with a smooth stroke. Coleman's first pitch. Swung on, he's out in front, rips a foul into the box seats down the right field line. Cubs with 18 hits, only 1 homer by Jerry Martin. Even though the wind has been blowing out a steady gale all day long. And the Pirates with only 1 home run off Rick Reuschel. And that by Johnny Milner. 0-1 delivery. And he swings. He fouls one right in front of Larry Bittner in the on-deck circle. Larry will be coming to bat for the first time, unless there's a double play. Then he may not get to bat at all today. And a long afternoon for Joe Coleman and his Pirate teammates. 0-2 pitch. Swung on, a miss for strike 3. Got him with a fastball. Let's take a moment here for station identification. This is the WGN Chicago Cubs Baseball Network.
Join Orion Samuelson and Max Armstrong Monday through Saturday for the noon show on WGN Radio Chicago.
First home run that Bittner hit this year was over at Pittsburgh. Now he has 2 for the year and a .295 batting average, 31 hits. 7 doubles, 2 homers. 22 runs batted in. It was not bad for 31 hits. The left-hander takes, and Coleman's high, ball 1. Vince Lloyd and Lou Boudreau here with you on a steamy afternoon at Wrigley Field. It's been a lot of fun for some 35,000 Cub fans. More than that, actually. Not all of them here yet. Sidearm pitch, he takes high and away, ball 2. The paid attendance today, 34,641. 34,641. The total, 35,571. 2-0 count to Bittner. Swung on, and he missed. Ball 2, strike 1. 1 Cub run is scored on an error, another on a wild pitch. Chase Jim Rooker, who had beaten them twice this year, chased him in the third in another unsuccessful quest by that veteran for his 100th career victory. And they've all in too close, 3-1. The Cubs with 3 in the first inning, 5 in the third, 1 in the fourth, 2 in the fifth, 1 in the 7th inning. Here in the 8th, they're leading 12-2 with 2 out, runners at first and third. 3-1 pitch swung on. Hits a little foul ball out of play at the third base side. Tomorrow, Lynn McLaughlin is scheduled to be Cub starter. That'll be going after his 10th win of the year. Jim Bibby, who has been pitching extremely well, is 8-2 for the Pirates. 3-2 pitch. Bittner checks it. The ball outside to load him up. That'll bring to bat Ken Henderson for the first time today. Switch hitter with the Cubs hitting .317. For the year, hitting .291. That includes his work at Cincinnati. As a homer and 5 runs batted in. Batting left-handed with 2 out of the bases loaded. Coleman delivers. Throws it into the dirt in front of the plate. Danner saying, shucks, we can't do anything about that one. Not going to use up any more members of the bullpen. Gone with Coleman ever since the third. Here's a swing, and he hits a ground ball. Jumps off the shoulder of Stargell, goes into right field. Here comes Dillard around to score. Here comes DeJesus. Bittner goes to third. Henderson with a hard one-hop single that skipped off the shoulder of the veteran Willie Stargell. And Henderson gets a pair of runs batted in. It is now a 14-2 lead. Runners at first and third for Jerry Martin. Has a homer and a double today in 5 at-bats and driven in 1 run. Long afternoon at Wrigley Field, particularly for Joe Coleman. Right-hander's first pitch swung on, a drive into left field. It's in for a base hit, and Bittner's going to score. Henderson stops at second. The parade continues. The 3rd run of the inning. Martin with his 3rd hit of the day and his 2nd run batted in. I'm surprised that Coleman can even get the ball up to the plate. Yeah.
He's going to have to. He's getting it up there, but he doesn't have too much left on it.
He sure doesn't. (15-2). Here's McKellar. 9 of those runs off Joe.
I'm quite sure that Tanner has had a talk to Coleman in between innings.
Yeah. McKellar swing. Grounds one out to the shortstop. Foley is up with it. Flips it over to second base to Garner. They get the force out of the Cubs. In the 8th inning, settle for 3 more runs. We go to the 9th with the Cubs enjoying a tremendous lead, 15-2. 15 Cub runs and 20 base hits. And the Pirates, awesome ball club, has been ripping pitching apart, has been well shackled here by Reuschel, who's not noted for his ability to withstand the kind of heat that we have here today. Cubs spotted him a 3-run lead in the first inning after the Pirates had threatened to get on the board in that top of the first with a single and a walk with 1 out. Then he struck out Stargell and got Milner on a fine play and a bouncer at first base. Here's Ed Ott swinging, and he drives one into center field, a base hit, to open up the 9th inning. That for the Pirates, their 7th hit of the day. Delaney has replaced Jerry Martin in center. Stepping into the batter's box, Phil Garner. Total in the house here today of 35,571. The We've seen a lot of action. Garner looks, and there is a strike at the knees to the right-hander. The swing by Garner, and a high foul. Larry Bittner in the first base line, giving chase. It's back into the seats just out of his reach out near the bench of the visiting bullpen. And he collided with a thump against it. Apparently he's okay. Garner retired on a fine play, his first time at bat today by Dillard, reaching part of his right foot. He's grounded out 3 times against Reuschel today. 0-2 pitch, swung out of it. Another strikeout for Rick. He looks determined to finish what he has started here today. For Rick, it's his 24th start this year. He had finished only 2 other starting assignments, and one was against this ball club when he shut him out. Now stepping into the batter's box, their first pinch hitter of the day, Mike Easler, left-hander. And he takes the ball. You're going to say his first pinch hitter? Yep. Way back in the 5th inning, he let Joe Coleman lead off. And at that time, the Cubs had themselves a 9-2 lead. Tanner figured Reuschel was just too tough. He was going to preserve his bullpen. Easler takes, that's the ball. Ball 1, strike 1 in the left-hander. Here's a stretch, the pitch. There's a strike. He's breaking in over the outside corner, 1-2. Usually when you look at a box score in a paper, you see one, there's a fastball. Hey, strike 3. Whoa, he burned him. Blazing fastball. Usually, when you see a team with an awful lot of extra players in that game, that's the team that normally is on the losing side. But not so here today. The Cubs are going to have the longer-looking box score because of Herman Frank's spelling several of the players late in the afternoon. Omar Moreno has been kept off the bases 4 times today. Started the afternoon hitting 300 in there, and he takes a strike. Reuschel 1 out away from capturing his 11th one of the year. Fires a strike, a breaking ball. And he's getting a roar from the crowd. He has fed 7 of the Pirates here today, and this crowd is on its feet. Applauding, waving their arms, cheering. They want this last out. Reuschel waiting as Moreno resets himself. Everybody on their feet. 2 out, strike 2 pitch, and he takes the fastball inside of the knees, and the crowd boos. The call by Ed Montague working behind the plate. Reuschel has probably shed about 10 or 12 pounds at least today. Here it is. Swung on, ground ball to Dillard. He fumbles it. Tries too late to get the bare-head pickup. Throws too late to first base, and the Pirates are still alive. An error against Steve Dillard, whose hands, Lou, may be so sweaty he just can't find a good grasp on the ball.
That's right, Dave. Every one of those Cubs and every one of those Pirates have had a tough day out there. And especially Reuschel.
Yeah.
And Reuschel still has great stuff.
Really strong. Here's Tim Foli.
Give him a hit.
Has a couple of singles. Give Moreno a hit. Very generous. I'm not sure. That'll be an error. 2 out, 2 on. Fastball, it's high. Ball 1, strike 1 on Foley. That is their 8th hit off Rick today. Still 2 on. 1-1 pitch, swung on. He hits one off the fist. Reuschel gets the ball in the glove, takes a couple of steps, crosses the pitcher. The ball game is over. The Cubs win. And Reuschel has gone all the way in a hot, windy day at Wrigley Field with a temperature of, at game time out here, was 90 degrees. And at
had to be a lot hotter than that down in the field, but this big guy has gone all the way. And he is smiling as he walks back into the Cub dugout, getting congratulations from all of his teammates. The Cubs bombard the Philadelphia Phillies in the first of a 3-game set. The Cubs 15, Pittsburgh 2.
Hello.